Okay. Well, good afternoon, all. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out. I'm in a server room at a client site that was hit by a malware bug early Friday morning. And it's been a marathon recovery session all weekend long. We're having to build a parallel infrastructure and then migrate data files over, do restores, try to clean this bug out. But while I'm working on this and spending a lot of time just staring at the screen waiting for things to happen, I decided I would try to do a little live stream here and take some viewer suggestions and questions about editing a couple of the new video series that I'm trying to put out in my spare time, and that's a relative term, not a lot of spare time right now. But wanted to get some feedback, see what people thought about whether they like short format, long format, music, no music, you know, kind of how it goes. I put some polls out there too, but I thought this might be more fun and, you know, take questions in real time, see what's going on. Oh, audio reverb, thanks, Celsius. Let me check, make sure I don't have extra mics going here. Let me see if I can fix it. Got everything muted out as much as possible. Let me try. Okay, is the audio echo still there? Because I'm in a noisy server room. I'm sure it's probably going to loop. Hey, Steve, how's it going, buddy? Audio is dookie? That doesn't sound good. See if I can fix it. Could be bad mic. Let me get rid of a couple things here. The audio might drop completely for a second, and I'll put it back in. We'll hope for that. Jared, I'll get back to that. Okay. Audio any better? Maybe I'll just take this one out, see what happens. It's a noisy room. I've got servers buzzing on the other side of this. Same. Crap. It's got to be the Logitech doing it. Let me see about this. Okay, is the audio back, and how bad is it? Yeah, you can hear the server fan, so can I, believe me. I was trying to do some noise canceling through the Logitech mic built into the camera, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. It's echoing and noisy, so we'll see. Cool, all right, voice is better now, thanks. Thanks for the feedback. I'm doing this off of a laptop with a Logitech camera here, and apparently the Logitech doesn't like the server noise at all. Bear with me 1 second. I'm building servers in the background here. I'll spin the camera in a minute and show you. I'm rebuilding a whole virtualization stack for a customer site that got hit by a malware. Next. Clicky, next. Okay, now that's doing its own thing for a few minutes and I can focus on the screen. So, what do we got? Got Jared in there, Steve Burns. Howdy, buddy. I got Nick, Fatty with a firearm. Got Excelsior, Kevin. Kelvin Kibler. Hey, Kelvin, how's it going, buddy? Where are we? Steve, how's the Super Cub doing? It's doing good. It's actually been parked in the garage for a little while now. It's waiting for me to do a bunch of semi-major maintenance to it after the 10,000 mile Cannonball run trip, or 9,700 mile, but so we'll just round it up to 10K. I need to do the oil spinner clean out, change my chain, change the tires, because the tires are pretty much flatted out front. Well, rear is anyway. The front's still good. So it needs a little bit of maintenance, and I'm going to do a new exhaust for it, so I'm kind of not riding it until I get all that sorted. Yeah, Kevin, yeah, if I had the NVIDIA card, no, this is a crappy old Dell laptop, and there's no advanced RTX processing here. Now my editing station at home, I've got NVIDIA Broadcast on there, and I can turn on all the fancy stuff. Where are we? Hey, Kelvin. Yeah, thanks for jumping in. Like I say, this is kind of a jam session, kind of a brainstorming session here, while I'm sitting waiting on servers to build. Let me grab the camera. Here's the stack. There's a wall rack. There's a big server rack over here full of servers that are making all kinds of noise. My bike sitting outside on camera where I can look at it. And building a hypervisor stack here. So anyway, set this thing back here and try not to drop it off the back of the table. Get the glare from the window out of the background there. My poor customer is sitting around here waiting. You know, we're doing a whole lot of sitting here, twiddling our thumbs, waiting on these servers to build and transfer data back in. Okay, back from, let's see, Paul Shaw. Hey, buddy, in Belfast. Nice. That's a long way off. You're in a radically different time zone. So you're probably six hours ahead. You're GMT or GMT plus 1 maybe, or something in that range. So it's 2 in the afternoon here, 8 or so in the evening, I would guess, over there. Been in touch with the dealers about the Super Cub in August. Now they say they don't know when the Cub will arrive. Oh man, that sucks. And Paul, I assume you're talking about the 22 Euro 5 compliant Cub, so that's cool. Hopefully when you get it. Jared saying 143cc Hunter Cub, yes. Soon as I can get some time to work on it. I haven't decided if it's going to be the Yamanashi kit or if it's going to be something real crazy, you know, go all the way up to the Kitico Neo 181cc kit and find out. That's a much bigger project because you got to tear the whole engine cases apart, put a new crank in it and all that. Jeff, hey buddy, I haven't seen you on the channel before. Thanks for stopping in. When I might be coming through Alabama, I would love to meet up with you. That'd be fun. Not sure if I'm going to make it up there this fall. It might be next spring, but we are looking at doing some kind of a meetup in the Tennessee, Alabama, northern, or yeah, I guess what would it be, eastern Missouri area, somewhere kind of in there. I'm not sure what flavor of bikes it's going to be for that meet. If it's going to be the Rebels or little bikes or Rikers or I don't care. As long as I'm riding, I'm having fun. What else do we have? John, hey buddy. Love the CT 125. Kev story's nice. Nice. Well, thanks for tuning in and watching this stuff. I just enjoy sharing the experience. It's fun stuff. Anybody that I can corrupt or convince into riding, influence their decisions. My craziness loves company. Jared, nice rack. Yeah, I hope you're talking about the server rack. I don't have the moves yet We won't get into that. Drove Stan's F3. Cool. So you drove it back from Oklahoma. Wow, Kevin, that's a hell of a ride. How did it ride? Was it good? Hey, Norms. Hi from the UK. All right. I saw you in there waiting. Jared, yeah, reliability on the 143cc might suffer. The big deal is whenever you do big bore, if you don't balance the entire reciprocating assembly, which generally means at least pulling the crank and padding your crankshaft weights, or getting it all balanced out. Normally your piston is going to be a little bit heavier if you go oversized or overbore, unless it's a much lighter forged composition than the factory piston. Anyway, long story short, if it's not a fully balanced reciprocating assembly, then yeah, you end up with more vibration, more wear and tear, and it can be less reliable. So we'll find out. That's why I kind of like the Kitico Neo 181, because it's a full kit, balanced out, at least matched, new crank. Where are we? Nick is saying I corrupted him into riding and moto camping. Yeah, hell yeah, man. I'm anybody I can corrupt into my way of thinking, I'll bring them over to the dark side. It's awesome. On any sundry mule, hey, howdy, sir, from the UK. All right. Reckon I'm Bitcoin mining. Yeah, the customers just don't know it. Yeah, I wish. Now, there's a long story behind that. Nick has heard it. Fatty with a firearm. If I could find my Bitcoin wallets, you guys are looking at a billionaire with a B. Buh. I've got a few Bitcoin wallets hiding away somewhere on old workstation drives back when Bitcoin was way less than $1 a coin. I've got probably close to 10,000 Bitcoin somewhere. If I could only find it. This is before escrow services, when you had your own crypto wallets local on a hard drive. If you lose them, you're effed. There's no getting it back. Brakes are set up for someone my height. Nice. Well, just shorten your legs, man. Grab a hacksaw. Trim a little off. On the Rebel. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, Gus. Thanks for joining in. Steve Burns, I've got a nice American accent. I try not to get too much into the southern drawl. A lot of people in Texas have a pretty strong accent. I'm originally from Oklahoma, in a more diverse town, so we have a lot of people from all over the United States, and we don't really have much of an accent there in that part of Oklahoma. But when you go further to the south, especially southeastern states, they get into the Texas drawl and talking slow and chewing on the words, and oh my God, it's hard to understand them. Had to stand the brake. What was that about, Kevin? Just you think the brakes needed bled or what? Got a Riker Rally in 2021 and a Kemco 500RI. Nice. The Kemco 500 is a pretty quick scoot. Got to get out and do more. So I'm getting lost on talking about comments here. Bear with me one second. One moment. Someone play some Jeopardy music in the background. I have to get this server running and patching so it can do stuff in the background while I'm not. Oh, there we go. Helps if I type the password right. Where are we? Love the Mad Max zoom. Oh yeah, Jared, isn't that scoot awesome? Neil's fabrication skills are just absolutely stunning. He's the one that built the custom jerry cans, the gas tanks for the Super Cubs, for my Cub and Adrian's Cub that we took on the Cannonball Run. You see it in some of the pictures. You'll see more in the videos when I finally get to editing that. And that's why I was actually opening the stream today, was to get people's input on the Cannonball Run series that I'm starting to edit now. So you, the viewers, I want to know what you think about how to edit it, and short versus long, how to kind of format it, what you want to see. This is all about community and having fun with this. One moment, please. Hey, it got a DHCP address. That's a nice thing. It's part of the network, in fact, up and functioning. Advanced. Get that. Forget that. Alright, let's run. And then we go check on the other one real quick, see if the hundreds and hundreds of gigs of data transfers are still underway. Log in. Yep, still going. Okay, I'm back. Kevin said he could only set his foot past and to the right of the pedal. That's odd. Nick, R.I.P. Alex Trebek. Hell yeah, man. That sucks too. Anybody that gets pancreatic cancer, you don't win that. It's just a matter of how long it takes to kill you. Nathan. Hey, Nathan. Good to hear from you. I hope you're enjoying your Rebel. The longer format, I've been thinking about doing two different ways, so that's kind of part of the discussion here today. How do I approach the topic gently? I'm opening the avenue for more of a commercial kind of thing where subscribers, members are going to get expanded content, stuff that's not necessarily just out there for general production. The reason for that is there's so much censorship going on YouTube right now, and any of the social media platforms, but especially YouTube. The algorithms really punish the channel for off-color humor, cursing, basically being a human. If you're not a machine that is 100% advertiser friendly, you get punished. So the subscriber stream stuff and members can just basically by subscribing, I know, or by doing a membership for $1 a month or whatever the price point is, I know that those people are really interested in watching the content. So I'll put special videos out there that are more expanded content, less edited. I can be myself a little bit more and not worry about getting deplatformed. So there'll be longer format videos that non-subscribers and non-members won't see. So, there's a whole bunch of comments. How do I go back? Long format. Okay, here we go. Any Senator Mule. I now have an XT250. What do I feel about the T-Dub and the Van Van? I haven't owned either one of those. The Van Van is kind of a shameless knockoff of the T-Dub in my opinion, but they're both good bikes. Suzuki's real reliable. Yamaha, everybody knows I like Yamaha. I've ridden a T-Dub quite a few times. I've not owned one or toured with one or done any really long rides, so, nothing more than a few hours. They're not great on the highways, they're not great on the roads, but when you get them off-road, they're fantastic. They're unbelievable, especially on mud and sand. Oh, they're just, with those big, chunky, fat tires, they're amazing. If I had to choose between the T-Dub 200 and the XT250, it would be the XT250 all day long. It's a more capable bike, it's got more horsepower and more ability to go places that would be somewhat uncomfortable or painful on the T-Dub. Hey Norm, loving the views on the Super Cub, the C90. Yeah, I never had a C90. We didn't get those here in the States. We had the Passport, which was essentially the C70. I don't know that we ever had the 90cc ones. Anyway, I had friends that owned the Passports when I was growing up. I had the Trail 90, which was the CT90, and the Trail 110 or CT110. Those are fantastic, fun little trail bikes, but they're not great road bikes. It's hard to get anywhere on. And my CT125 is kind of the same story. Checking on servers. Hold 1 second. Still copying. That's good. OBS PS2 is waiting, still installing. Okay. Nothing's waiting on me, except you guys. Where am I? Don't mind the long version, usually listening while driving instead of watching. That's a very good point, Jared. I know that some people turn it on and just have it going in the background, whether they're watching or listening in the background. I think that's kind of where the long format videos do best. And oddly enough, the long format, I get crazy view counts on those. I mean, I don't know if it's because people are turning them on and then letting them go in the background and forgetting about them and coming back and rewatching. I'm not sure how that works. John, I meant to add CT125 reviews. One of the reasons you sold your tippy tall off-road bike. Nice. And you got a PCX 150. Congrats on the PCX 150. Yeah, I'm vertically challenged, so I don't like the really tall seat heights that a lot of the ADV bikes come with these days. I grew up motocross and supercross and stuff like that, and those bikes are huge, but you're on a track. You don't need to stop, and if you do, you're jumping off the bike or swinging a leg off while it's rolling and putting it on the track stand. There are no kickstands on real off-road bikes. But when you try to take a 33, 34, 35-inch seat height bike on the roads and reach down to stop, you try to get your foot down on the ground and you can't. It's a problem with traffic, especially when you've only got a 30-inch inseam like I do. Steve Burns had a message and he took it away. I don't know what you said, Steve. Where am I? Oh, Steve, yeah, okay. Currently have a Kemco Agility 125 since 16,000 chems. Yeah, nice. Only a blown fuse and thinking about, yeah. The Kemcos are great bikes. We don't have a good supply chain for them here in the States. The dealer network is non-existent. Parts and service network is non-existent. So people usually stay away from the unknown Asian flavor bikes here. We just have the big, the big three: Yamaha, Suzuki, Honda. Cannonball Run looked like a great time. Hey Jeff, yep. I haven't totaled the cost on that yet, Jeff. I have all the stats. I have all of my gas receipts, and I'm planning on doing the fuel statistics. I can ballpark and say that including hotels, all the fuel, all the food, it was less than $1,000 for the whole month. That's pretty impressive for a month-long, 10,000-mile vacation. I'm guessing the fuel costs were somewhere in the 350 range, maybe. I could probably throw a calculator to it and figure it out. I know what my average fuel economy was, just overall, was about 96 miles to the gallon, I think is what I was tabulating. So we can figure that, rough prices in the U.S. for fuel, $3.75 a gallon, I think is what it averaged out to across the nation. So, where am I? Losing a whole bunch. Gotta scroll back. Yeah, Kevin, do shorter and then release quasi-cut versions. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Is I'll do the short ones as teasers, and the more expanded ones that are going to have some of the behind-the-scenes antics and personality pieces. Those will be seen on the channel as a clickable video, but you can't watch them unless you remember. That'll keep me out of trouble with the digital censors out there. And the people that don't want to watch it, and they just, get the a-hole commenters that just have to leave their 2 cents instead of changing the channel and shutting the hell up. Ridden a Van Van, it was comfortable. Haven't ridden a T-Dub. Yeah, Jared, they're almost identical in their feel. The Van Van handlebars seem to be a little bit closer to me than the T-Dub, so it's a little more compact in the rider triangle, but as far as feel and power, they're almost identical. Dave Straight. Hey, Dave. Good to see you on here, man. You're always leaving lots of comments, and I apologize. I don't reply to all of them. I usually leave a thumbs up or a heart on there because what you said was plenty sufficient, and I don't even need to follow it up. Nice stuff. Saw the video when I went to the Outlaws, thinking of doing a 143 kit. Yes, the CT125 definitely needs a big bore kit of some flavor. We talked about it just a few minutes ago. I don't know if that's going to be 143, which is just a mild big bore, but it gives a lot more compression. I think it results in about a 4 horsepower bump, which is not bad. Or if I'm going to go full tilt boogie and go with a 181cc Kitico Neo, which is a new head, new valves, camshaft, crank, everything, and it bumps it up to like 20 horsepower. We're talking about, you know, a 250% increase on power. It's pretty crazy. So, but that's much more expensive and a more involved kit. You have to split the engine cases apart and throw a crank in there. Mark, hey Mark, good to see you, buddy. Doing greeting from, am I going to say this right? I'll probably butcher it. Bletchley Towers, Bletchley, yeah. Are you guys finally out of your lockdown nonsense over there? I don't want to turn this into a political conversation or whatever, because YouTube loves to strike that stuff. But man, at least here in Texas, we don't have to deal with that crap. I won't get into it. It sucks. Where am I? Jared, is this right to travel David Strait? I don't know, Jared. Maybe David can answer it. Oh, no, Jared. Okay, I see his answer. Jared, C3 is a cool looking scoot. Big bore. Yeah, there have been people that have done Vino 125 conversions on the little C3 and really hopped them up or put GY6 motors in them, 186cc GY6s and stuff like that. I kind of like the C3 because it's simple. It's very small, efficient. The engine on those things is just bulletproof. They'll run forever and a year. Unfortunately, mine is sitting with gelled up fuel in it right now and it won't start. So I've got to pull the tank off of it and clean it out, which is how I purchased the thing originally. It wouldn't start because somebody let it sit too long. Guilty. Fatties. Just hop off at stops, jump back on. I've seen that, Nick. There was a real short guy. I don't want to be insensitive, but it was a dwarf or somebody that had dwarfism. He was riding a big BMW GS 1100 and doing exactly that. Just jumping off at stops and standing next to it, and then the light turns green and he hits the gas and jumps on while it's rolling away. I don't think I would want to do that in Houston traffic. Not my idea of fun. Dave's saying, Quasi, that's cheap. Gas and food in USA are cheap. Yeah. We definitely don't have the high prices you guys do. Jared, love my Kimco K-pipe. I looked at the little K-pipes. They looked interesting. That was the little 125 Grom equivalent, wasn't it? Need to hire a camera crew and do it like a series TV show. Yeah, Kevin. A little story there, but I won't get too deep into it. Let's just say that Can-Am was offering to send a film crew down to follow me on some of my dumb adventures on the Riker. And I said, yeah, I could do that. But I'm not necessarily a good brand ambassador, because if something's pissing me off, I'm going to say it. Fatty, under the new rules on YouTube, you can say the word shit and not be taken down. Well, holy shit. That's just shit fantastic right there. I love it. Let's get into this shit, shall we? Hey Mark, did I manage to sort the Riker tracking out? No, not yet. It's still sitting in the warehouse. I've been just absolutely clobbered with other projects, work. Luckily, work is picking up again. It was a little slow for a while, and I was kind of wondering if I was committing financial suicide by going for an entire month on the Cannonball Run, because the lead up to that, I probably didn't actually do any work, and I didn't have any income, zero goose egg income, for 2 months, because it was at least 2 weeks leading up to the Cannonball that I didn't do anything, and then I was gone for a month, and then 2 to 3 weeks after that was still just recovery time. So yeah, but the work is picking up again, and doing things like this, unfortunately, makes money. I don't like making money the hard way and at somebody else's painful expense, but it is what it is. I'm an IT mercenary. Bletchley. Yeah, Dave is throwing some crap out there. All right, man. You guys can have your little tete-a-tete there for the UK. Is that technically correct? Is that proper to to say the UK over there, United Kingdom. You just say England, Great Britain. It's not Great Britain anymore. Great Britain was the old one, right? It was all the three countries. I don't know. I'm politically insensitive. I'm just insensitive. Dave Strait, we know a short lady who does that on a GS 1200 5.1. Holy crap. If you're road touring, I can get it. But I think you guys have seen some of my commute videos here in Houston. Oh my God. Our cagers are just complete buffoons. And I cannot imagine having to come to a screeching halt and reach for the ground on half of these big bikes, you know, the big KTMs and stuff like that, the ADV bikes. They're just too stinking tall for me. K-Pipe has 17-inch wheels. Spade has the small wheels. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was one in here. That's good info. Dave saying Quasi tells the truth. Yeah. I've got an opinion. We all know about opinions, right? Opinions are like a-holes. Everyone's got one, and you don't get in trouble with it until you show it off in public. Nick, sadly, gas isn't as cheap as it once was. Yeah, it's going up. It's not as bad here as it is in California. When I was in California at the end of July, finishing the Cannonball run, it was over $5 a gallon for base unleaded. Premium and diesel were well over that. It's crazy. Okay, where am I? Dave Strait, not so great phones of another running. Yeah, that's another channel. You got that. Well, and, Dave, that's a good point. I thought about creating other sub-channels, or what are called brand channels on YouTube. Quasi-Motard is a brand channel off of my main account. And I thought about doing a couple of other channels and seeing if anybody wants to cross-pollinate over there for a bunch of the bad driver videos, and basically Quasi-Motard off the chain, unfiltered, and those probably will not be monetized because I have an opinion. Over there on the other side of the pond, yeah, okay. Going to be in New Hampshire next week until Biden moves. Okay, that sucks. February. 319 for 87 here. Yeah, Jared. Even down here, our base unleaded, I think, is a little over $3 a gallon. I might have been paying $3.10, something like that here in Houston. Gas in Louisiana in 19 was $2.30 a gallon. Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. It's gone up a lot. Plenty of bad drivers in Alabama. Yes, sir. I came through Alabama, and I'll tell you, Alabama, Virginia, and I'll have to look back on my video, but we had some really nasty close calls on the Cannonball run, and then I just went through all those states on the way back and forth up to Annapolis, Maine, a couple of weeks ago to visit with Life of Birch. So yeah, it was just stupid cagers everywhere. Can't put their damn cell phones down long enough to focus on piloting the 2-ton killing machine that they're behind. Hey David, have a Spade 150 and love it. 5K miles, no issues. Portland, Oregon to Mount Hood. Or Mount Home, sorry, Mount Home, Idaho. Nice, nice. So, what are your thoughts on that Spade? Have you owned other bikes, Japanese bikes? What are your opinions on its reliability? You think it's going to hold up for the long term compared to like a Honda or Yamaha or something like that? I'm curious. I haven't ever owned one, so I don't know what to expect. Jeff is saying, yeah, we got them here in Alabama. Hell yeah, man. Try Virginia. Holy crap, those people suck at driving. I don't even think they've practiced. They just get out there. I think most of them took Thorazine before they got on the road, and the other half are on methamphetamine. There's no in between. These people are insane. Where am I? Oh, Dave Strait. You just want air hawk on trips or the concrete butt? Both. I have multiple AirHawk pads. Most of them are. Wait, let me check on this. Pending restart. Nope, not done yet. Still waiting. AirHawk pads. I've got two of the large ones that I switch around between the Riker, Rebel. I put one on the Cub for the whole month-long trip around the country. And then I've got a couple of different sized ones that are more trapezoidal. It's the dual sport pad. And they work. They're really good. Without it, it's hard to tolerate some of the seats on my bikes for more than about 8 hours. And I'm no stranger to putting in 16, 18-hour days. So you've got to have some kind of a butt pain management scenario there. Nick is saying, love to be on Riker in uniform. Ah, nice. Yeah, well, Nick, you know me, ex-LEO, and I've been carrying since I was 21, pretty much nonstop. It's kind of funny to see road ragers here in Houston getting all aggressive and, being douchebags trying to crush me into the retaining walls and stuff like that. And it's pretty obvious when they notice that I'm armed because they immediately nail the brakes and back the F off. It's funny. And, I don't reach for the weapon or brandish or anything like that, but when they realize that I'm able to fight back, suddenly I'm not such an entertaining target. David, do you dig it? Runs away. Taiwan made, K-pipe is China made. I got you. Okay. Yeah, well, Taiwan products are better than China generally, in my opinion, in my experience. Quasi, try London or Dublin. Hey, I've actually driven in London before. Not a good time. I don't think I'd want to ride a motorcycle there. I've driven in London, Paris, all over France. Well, not all over. 4 or 5 cities in France. Several places in Spain, Madrid. It's different. I actually kind of like Madrid though. Everybody just has a flow to it. No one pays attention to lines. Nobody cares about traffic rules. Everybody just gets along, and bikes hit cars, cars hit bikes. Just little nudges and love taps, and everybody keeps going. Nobody gets mad. Nobody gets bent out of shape, and nobody stops. You just keep on flowing. Pretty cool. Nerve-wracking if you haven't been around it, but cool. Derek, hey buddy, thanks for dropping in. Like the Riker comfort seat, huge improvement. Yeah, Jeff, I thought about getting the Riker comfort seat, but at $300 or whatever it is, I just couldn't justify that. I could take the $100 or $85 Airhawk pad and strap it on there and move it to other bikes. Just, money. Yeah, Dave, when you're packing heat. Yeah, it's getting unfortunate everywhere. Houston has gotten really adversarial over the last year. It's gotten pretty bad. I've actually been in a couple of armed confrontations. People trying to quite literally kill me on the motorcycle, trying to ram me, trying to shove me into walls, and chasing me down. I just get away from them and filter through, and they'll manage to catch back up, and a few minutes later at a light or whatever, and jump out of their car with a weapon in their hand. And you don't want to escalate to lethal conflict with me because I'm trained to handle that. Where am I? Steve, hey, in Poland, the version of the Super Cub 22 is already on sale. Color is matte. I like that matte black. I've heard a lot of people say they don't like it, but I like the look of it. It's interesting. Gonna buy it in the spring, have a fondness for it. Yeah, that'd be cool. Jump on the Super Cub train. It's fun. Yeah, Nick, a month-long trip in Europe would be fun. Ready for a restart. I've had a few channel viewers offer to put me up in Ireland, and I think there were a couple in the UK where they were saying, come on over, we'll show you some great roads. Man, I would love to go do that. That would be amazing. Ireland, Scotland, and the UK, just go touring. It'd be really neat. Spend a couple weeks doing that. Oh, Kevin's saying the Riker comfort seat wears out. Yeah, I saw that, man. You're losing all your stitching on the back of it. And you don't leave your bike sitting out in the sun all the time, do you? So it's not really sun damage, it's just wearing out. Jared having a blast on the RD350. Yeah, I do have a couple of vintage bikes sitting in the garage. One of them is torn to pieces. I've got a CB125 that's sitting all over my garage floor. Needs to be restored and put back together.
I've also got a 1970 Honda CL175 Scrambler, the original Scrambler. It's complete. It just needs a few minor things, and I'm going to put it back on the road. I was hoping to do a 50-50 tour. I guess it would be like a 50-48 tour. 50-year-old guy on a 50-year-old bike, and I want to do the Continental 48 states. So that'd be a hell of a challenge. Old bike. I have to take a whole tool chest with me. Quasi, can my servers make me coffee? No, they can't make coffee. They sound like they could. Sounds like a jet engine in here. This room is noisy. I don't know how the audio is coming out on this, so I apologize if you guys are having trouble hearing me. What tent do I like to use the most, Jeff? The tent that I've had for years, over 8 years now, is the REI Half Dome 2 Plus. So it's a two-man tent, a little bit larger than a two-man tent, a little bit wider, a little bit longer. Packs down really small. I think the total pack weight is just under 7 pounds. It's a really good tent. You see it in quite a few of my earlier videos. And I still use it, still have it. It's got some damage now from a big windstorm that I had up in Circuit of the Americas a year or two ago, a couple of years ago. I now have a Hammock Sunda 2, which is a tent hammock. It can do both. So you set it up as a tent freestanding on the ground, and then it has cinch cords at the bottom of the tent body that bring it up as a hammock, and you can suspend it in the air. It's really cool. Nick has seen it, I think. I can't remember. I took that with me around the country on the Cannonball, and it did really well. Not cheap though, it's like $500. Dave Dorson. I just read they're going to release a 150cc of the trail in Japan. I've been hearing that rumor for a while. I'm not sure if it's true or not. And the reason that I kind of doubt it, and don't hold me to this, but the 125cc is kind of the magic cutoff point for a lot of the licensing classes in most European countries, Asian countries. Anything over 125cc's, you have to have a special permit or a different license class. 125 and under, learner class or no license at all, just like an automotive license. Dave, sounds like I'm hovering. Yeah. I'm sitting on a vacuum cleaner. That's it. Got a hammock tent and then try out. What did you get, Jared? What tent? Hey, Richard. Howdy from North Carolina. I'm hoping that is NC. Howdy. Dave, did I get the Aprilia? No, I did not. I discussed that one briefly in my live stream from the campground coming back from Annapolis, Maryland. I'm not going to say the name of the dealer yet because I'm still trying to hope that they do the right thing, but I basically gave them a very large pre-deposit. It was the first pre-order in Houston, and it was $4,000 down payment on a bike that was yet to be released. And they decided to change their name of the dealership. They changed, I don't think they've changed owners, but they've changed legal names. And they're trying to disavow any knowledge of my $4,000 payment. They're not talking to me, they're not returning my calls, they're ignoring me, and they're pissing me off. So it's going to be legal action, and potentially I'm going to air their dirty laundry on YouTube right here and on Google and everything else. One moment. Oops. So I can type the password. There we go. Building server number 8. Okay, where am I? Eureka Sumo 2. Hey, I think, oh no, that's Fatty saying he's got it. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Nick has got the Sumo 2. Where am I? Steve, used to have a Kemco Nexon 50 Super Cub 125 engine, 50cc. Interesting. 24,000 kilometers, indestructible. Yeah, Hondas are great. They over-engineer all of their parts, their engines, and then detune them so they're running way inside of a tolerance for just horrible abuse. It's great. Willie Bart. Hello, can you tell me where to get a service manual for the Super Cub? Yes. I don't know what country you're in. If you're in the United States, we go through Helm Incorporated, H-E-L-M. So just throw up a Google search for Helm Honda service manual, and you'll find the Helm site, and they're a licensed Honda manual outlet. So it's not, it's not like buying it off of eBay where it's going to be counterfeit and you're not really doing the right thing. They're not expensive, 35 to 65 bucks depending on what you're buying, and they're full of everything you need to do any kind of maintenance on the bike. Very good investment. Lots of Asian countries sell 150 in India, Thailand. Cub would work. Yeah, it wouldn't work in Europe because of the 125 licensing, I'm sure, and the emissions now that everything's 0.5 mandated. Series over 4K. Solid. People here selling the Trail 125 for 4,600 pounds. I haven't looked at the conversion rates to know how that works out in US dollars. We've heard stories of price gouging on the Trail 125 here for $7,000 and $8,000, and that's from a dealer. Can you believe that? Crazy. I've had people offer me quite a bit for mine. I'm just not really ready to sell it. Wanted a Royal Enfield 500. Yeah, I like that one. Fatty, looking at a Meteor. Yeah, the Meteor looked interesting too. The RE350 Meteor, I think is what it is. It's okay, but it's so anemic and underpowered compared to a lot of the other bikes in the same class. I'm not sure how it's going to play, at least here in the States. A little about Holland. Shipping is very expensive. Yeah, I'm not sure where. You may have outlets for Helm in Holland. I don't know. They might have local distributors there for the manuals, but it's the factory authorized manual, and they're very, very good quality. Jared, Grand Trunk Nano 7 hammock. Oh, Grand Trunk. Yeah, Grand Trunk's good stuff, man. So the Nano, that should be the ultralight stuff. Yeah, pretty good. My boutique hammock camping gear is always, well, not always. Usually I get Sierra Madre Research. They're really good. Not cheap, though. They're very healthy on their pricing. One moment. Where am I going to? I feel like I'm never going to get out of here. I'm getting paid, don't get me wrong. I feel bad when the customer's sitting around twiddling their thumbs worse than I am. Ugh. I might even be able to show you guys a screenshot because I'm going through OBS for the video capture here, so I can throw up a window capture instead of the camera and show you this virus that wreaked absolute havoc in here. There we go. Go! Oh man, I lost the window. Come here. Come here. Thank you. Pardon me one more moment. Come on. Come on. Let me click you. There it is. Okay, I'm back. I think the customer's out of earshot, so I can say this now. It's nice to be able to sit here and do this and chat with people while I'm working and getting paid for it. Try not to make a habit of that, but I'm sitting here for... It's been... I got here at 8 this morning, so it's been a while. I've been here, what, 6, almost 7 hours, and 80% of this is sitting around twiddling my thumbs. Where am I? Eric. Hey, buddy. Hey, thanks for joining in, Eric. Good to see you. Smuggle Super Cub and Hunter Cub into Canada. Yeah, I wonder if it's going to change with the 22 models because the emissions is changing. So I don't know if it was just regulatory nonsense or what. My name's Thunder Mule. Always try factory workshop manual on my bikes. Yes. The factory manuals are, I mean, they're written by the people that design the bike, so hopefully they've done their job. No thanks to some of them like Can-Am. Excuse me. I won't get into that one. Dave Straight. That's what she said. Wife rode no problem. New license holder, but if we rode it, it had to be aboard quickly. Yeah. Yeah. I ride small bikes though. I don't really have a problem with small bikes, underpowered, going slow. I've raced most of my life. I've done all the go fast shit that I need to do. I kind of enjoy slowing down now. I still twist the wrist. Don't get me wrong. I'm no choir boy. I ride fast, drive fast, terrorize traffic whenever I feel like it. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Eric, don't feel bad when billing. Actually, I do feel bad, Eric, sometimes when I look at because right now, technically by my rate sheet, I'm double time right now because this is a Sunday. Anything Saturday up to midnight is time and a half, and from midnight Sunday, it's double time, and my bill rate isn't cheap. So I don't like to discuss money, but let's just say that me sitting here today buys another Cub. That's how it is. And they can do it themselves if they want to go the hard route and learn how to do all the remediation for a giant virus outbreak like this. But downtime is more expensive than my bill. Too small a market? Yeah, I don't know. It's possible. North American market isn't really a good market at all for most motorcycles, especially scooters. We don't get a lot of the small bikes or scooters that even Mexico gets, which is kind of stupid. I don't know. And still, they're part of North America, so I don't get it. It's supply chain issues and I think DOT limitations and stuff like that kind of get in the way on a lot of things. So, Excelsior, after the record, find an ADV. Do you? Okay, so anybody that's interested in getting smaller bikes and slowing down, ask Excelsior, Kevin, about his new ownership experience with his ADV 150. And go check out his channel. You can see his name here in the chat. It's Excelsior. He's got a channel, and he's putting out some ADV 150 content on his channel. Really good stuff. People that haven't owned or ridden scooters, when they can finally let go of the macho bravado, and I need to be riding a leader bike, and it has to have a minimum 100 horsepower to the wheel kind of bullshit, you realize that the small bikes are a whole lot of fun. And that old axiom of it's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than it is to ride a fast bike slow is 100% true. I've got bikes of all flavors and sizes, hyper sports all the way down to lowly little 50cc scooters, and I enjoy every one of them. It's great. Where am I? The 500F, yeah, Nick. That 500F is fun. It's my son's daily rider now. He's been piling up the miles on that thing. I just had to put new rubber on it. I did a live stream from that same cycle gear that you and I went to. I put new tires on that thing and did some maintenance on it. Showed him how to change the oil and do some maintenance so I don't have to. Bill, hey Bill, did I ever get the cruise issue resolved on the 1100? Not yet, and I just did 3,300 miles going up to Maryland. I keep saying Maine, I don't know what my deal is. I went up to Annapolis, Maryland to visit with Life of Birch, and my cruise control issue happened at least 3 times on that trip up there, and it's the rear brake switch. Kind of the general consensus is rear brake, and the only times it happened to me were coming into slower sections of the, getting into towns and stuff where there's stoplights, or in town where it's stop and go. That's when the cruise control would turn itself completely off and you couldn't re-engage it. You couldn't turn it on. You couldn't system enable it. So it's the rear brake switch. And the only way to clear it, shut the bike off, turn it back on, and it comes back. So I haven't figured out if I need to move the switch in or out to get a more positive engagement, to where it's not bouncing. It's switch bounce is what's causing it. So anyway. Jeff, how do I like my new Rebel? How did I get the Riker to do a burnout in the rear tire with the front lock? It's not hard to power stall the Rikers. I love the Rebel, by the way. I'll answer that one first. The Rebel's great. It's a different animal. Rear suspension on it sucks, but I've been into that one on a few videos. To do a power stall on the Riker, you give it just enough brake to allow the rear tire to spin, but the fronts stay reasonably locked. And you'll creep, and the bike will start to yaw around, so you eventually have to get out of the throttle. The longest burnout I've done on it was like 30 seconds straight, and I got out of it because I was afraid I was going to do some damage to the rear brake. I didn't want to burn up the pads or glaze up the rotor, because the brake is going to be engaged on that rear. One moment. Starting on build of server number 9. Woohoo! Just getting the infrastructure set up to be able to do these builds took most of yesterday. And we had to go through all the backups, talking terabytes of backups to figure out what data was salvageable. And is this preventable? It's debatable. Are there better ways to recover this? Did they give themselves that option? Okay, that one's going again. Where am I? 500F is excellent. Yes, 500F is a great little bike. I love it. I enjoy my 500X a little bit more just because of the more upright ergonomics on it. That's what I'm riding today. For anybody that joined in late, you can see my environment here. There's my bike sitting outside on camera. It's my 500X. I love that thing as a commuter bike. It's fantastic. Here's the server that is one of the virtual machine windows that I'm building. And here's you. Oh, window to infinity. All right. Where am I? Oh, don't fall off the table. Where am I? Get the glare of that out of the background. Okay. Where am I? So, how did I do the burnout? Yes, we did that. Would love a scooter, Jared. Get a scooter, man. Or cheap. Well, depends on what you get. ADB is also not sold in Canada. What the? I don't know what's going on with Canuckistan up there, Eric, but we could get into another political conversation. Camper Dude. Hey, Camper Dude. Love your CT 125. 1,000 miles and counting. Cool. You've got about as many miles on yours as I do mine. I think mine's sitting at 800 miles right out. I just haven't ridden it enough to do some of the adventure camping that I planned with it. But hopefully I'm going to get into that this fall. If I can quit doing other 10,000 mile road trips. Jeff, am I not cloning? No. Don't know how far down that IT discussion I want to go. Probably just nothing against you. It's just I don't know how technical a lot of the people in the chat are here. And I can't even see how many people are in the chat, by the way, because it never tells me while I'm in it. No, they're running on Hyper-V 2012 R2, which is what they were running. Now they're on 19. The entire stack got corrupted, including domain control. So they were 100% corrupted. So we're building in parallel right now in order to give ourselves a clean jumping off point. Then I'm sandbox restoring some of the corrupted VMs from snapshots and offline storage, and then sanitizing the data coming out of the sandbox into the new server, staging server. So yeah, it's ugly. A lot of time. and for them a lot of money. Well, no, am I not funny? Okay, back. How about the invite I sent? Text me. I don't know yet, Nick. I will text you. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that I can arrange that, yes. It depends on what's going on right now with a couple of the big client engagements that I've got going. Unfortunately, I ran myself a little thin on funds from all my playtime in July and August. Backpedaling to catch up. Cross-border mission, yeah, Dave. Nathan, 23 as of right now. 23 watching. Okay, thanks, guys. I was wondering, 23 what? 23 people. Okay. Hey, man, if I got more than me in here, if there's 2 or 3, I'll keep talking. So for anybody that joined late, mainly I was trying to gauge user interest or viewer interest in the video format for some of the videos that I'm putting out right now that are on the editing bench. Trying to gauge whether people like short format, long format, time compressed, to cut out some of the what some people would think is boring ride footage. I enjoy the ride footage because that's why I go out and do that stuff. But I know not everybody's got more than a 3.5 minute attention span. So I'm trying to figure out ways that you guys, the viewers, how you'd like to see the content. Whether it's short, long, music, no music, just engine sounds, none of me, shut the hell up, let's hear the bike. I don't mind, whatever. Sunday marathon would be good. Yeah, Dave. I'll probably do some of the long format stuff. So what I mentioned earlier, for the people that are already here, I'm repeating myself, or that were here earlier, I'm repeating myself, but for anybody that joined in, there are going to be some member only for like Patreon and YouTube member subscriber videos that are alternate format, longer, less edit, definitely more personality pieces, me showing my true colors, for better or for worse. Nick knows who I am. Kevin knows who I am. A few people that have ridden with me and been around me for more than just on screen. Not necessarily the same guy. Where am I going? Didn't I say, Jared, one time I had a Silverwing 600? Yes, I do. I love the bike. It's been sitting for a long time, and right now the starter solenoid is seized and will not start. So I've got to tear off the Tupperware on the right side of it in order to get to the starter solenoid. I need to put it back on the road, though. It hasn't seen any road time in about 2 years. I've got 38,000 miles, I think, on it, something like that, high 30s, and most of that is commuting and touring miles. I've taken that thing across the country twice, north to south and east to west, and several half trips in between all over the place, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, you name it. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's great on the road. It's a pig in town. It's a fat bitch that's just, it's hard to manage in slow stop and go traffic. It's a 560-pound scooter. It's not light. But it's capable of running 85, 90 miles an hour all day long without breaking a sweat. So if you like to travel fast and in pretty good comfort, like Goldwing style, motorized lazy boy seating, Silverwing's great. Oops, I'm about to unplug myself. Okay, so server number 9 is now in the patching phase. Come on. So back to the IT question before. I'm building in parallel because there's no way to know for sure that we've gotten this bug out, and all of the data is coming back through sandbox staging with Sophos and VirusTotal and a couple of other inline scanners to make sure that we're not bringing the bug in with us, because if they have to rebuild twice, it's twice the money, and they're certainly not going to like paying that bill. So I would essentially be wasting my time, so I'm making sure I do this right the first time. It's no fun when you send somebody a $10,000 bill and they go, not paying it. Really? Oops. Where am I? Nope. Losing comments, sorry. Getting busy working. What's up with that? Let's hear the bike. Yeah, only if I put an actor on it. Yeah, I wish we could get a Krapovich for the Rebel. They haven't released one yet. I love Krapovich, they're great. Get this one hatching, and then I can beef off again. Come on. Come on. You can do it. And of course, to add insult to injury, Microsoft's licensing site for volume licensing was down yesterday and a good part of the day today, so I wasn't able to reach the ISO images that I needed to download to build their infrastructure here. Murphy's Law, and everything is going to go wrong at once. It's IT. Luckily, I've got enough customer sites that I went over to one of them yesterday, early morning, and actually got on their network to download some ISO images. The licenses are separate. You just need the ISOs in order to install the software. Okay. So, where am I? I'm back. Martin. Hey, Martin. Attention span increases. Mentions sex or crazy stuff. 15-minute vids. Yeah. Yeah, well, we talked about the digital sensors earlier, and my idea on the subscriber and member content is those are people that want to watch it, so I'm a lot less likely to get flagged or thumbed down or complained about for people that have chosen to watch. It's when you put out a video, you don't have any control over who YouTube pushes it out to. And the more thumbs down you get, and the more people that complain or leave negative comments or feedback or whatever, that hurts the algorithms, and then you end up getting strikes from the YouTube community guidelines and all that. So anyway. Go Arizona Cardinals. I'm not a sports guy, but good on you. Where am I? Excelsior, want to hit up Vegas? Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. I haven't done Vegas. I still want to do that. Jeff, sounds like fun with the ISOs. Yeah, I tried pulling them across a VPN, and it was just going to be painful. A couple hours, and it was only 20 minutes for me to drive down the road and plug into the network and go get it. Luckily, I've got keys to most of my bigger customer sites. Yeah. Anyway, so I hope I haven't missed anybody's comments. I mean, I can stay on here and chat and shoot the shit all day. Well, not all day, most of the day. Right until these things finish patching, and then I got to get back to work. I got to finish redoing their AD infrastructure, group policies, setting security on shares, and every stupid thing else. Where am I? I don't think I missed anybody's comments. Go straight. Griffo. Quasi needs a donut break. No, I need foods, but I recorded a vlog on the way in this morning. I don't know when I'll have time to edit and post that. I'll try to do it soon, but the vlogs are interesting because I'll be talking about stuff, plans, upcoming changes to the bikes or whatever. And if I don't edit and post those soon after they're made, then they become irrelevant, and I'll go back and look at those later and go, well, this is old hat because people have already seen it. So. But yeah, I recorded the vlog on the way in this morning. Got a Burger King breakfast. Don't recommend it. Needed food though. Still need food. Real food. Need some Italian's what I need. So, Jeff, worked doing AD and GPOs. Oh yeah, Jeff. So you know the story. Yeah. Luckily, this isn't a huge organization as far as user count. Probably a couple 3 dozen PCs and a couple terabytes of shared storage out there as far as file shares and application servers and whatnot. Unfortunately, their entire stack got hit, and I kind of know where it started. It was an admin level user, somebody that was in an elevated user group that shouldn't have had elevated privileges. They clicked on an email attachment, and the Trojan went to work in the background and locked everything up. And it waited to distribute the payload and do the damage until 2 a.m. Nobody was here to see it and stop it. So, yeah, full rebuild. Killed everything. Where am I going? Martin. Hey, Martin. YouTube should mention, say, please ask everyone thumbs up on video. You know, that's a good point, Martin. I try not to preach it, you know, and coerce people and dig them in the ribs about, hey, like and subscribe and all that. You know, that's one of my pet peeves when I watch someone else's videos of, you're not even 30 seconds into the video, you don't know if you like it or not yet, and they're going, like and subscribe, and smash that like button. Shut up. So, but yeah, I try to at least put the little pop-ups on the bottom, you know, like, subscribe, whatever. But I should probably push it a little bit more, because the more likes and subscribers that I get on the channel, the more YouTube's algorithms promote the content out to everybody else. And again, I view this just to share with the community. It's not about making money. And the money's okay. You don't make much money doing this, trust me. But if the ad revenue and that sort of thing, and the subscriber donations and all that, if those can pay for the hobby, great. You know, it's just icing on the cake. But I'm going to do it anyway, whether I'm getting paid or not. It's just fun to share. But the time investment for editing the videos, sometimes it's not a good ROI, not at all. I'll spend 20 hours editing video, upload it, post it, and you know, it'll get a few hundred views, something like that. I'll go back a few months later and look at it, and I might have made $20 on the video or something like that after a month or 2 months or however long. So work that out in hours to dollars. It's not good ROI, not at all. My bill rate is, I won't talk money, let's just say it's in the triple digits per hour, let's put it that way. And today it's double that. So if I spend 10 hours editing a video and make $20 or $30 on it, insult, but you know, whatever. As long as people enjoy watching it, I'll put them out there. Oh, almost ready, almost ready. Okay, where am I? Quasi-sponsored by Buc-ee's, yeah. I've looked into getting a couple of quote-unquote commercial sponsorships with vendors and manufacturers, and the strange thing is they don't like working with individuals. They only want to work with corporations. Honda North America is a prime example. I sent a feeler email out to Honda about 3 weeks ago, something like that, asking if they would be interested in sponsoring or co-branding or, you know, some type of an advertising thing on my Cannonball Run series that I'm going to be editing and posting real soon. And I got a very weird response back saying that we don't support any private individuals, religious institutions, blah, blah, this, that, political affiliations, whatever. So I couldn't decide if they were trying to say that I was political, religious, whatever. Yeah, my religion is bites. But the gist of it was, if you're not a corporation, they're not going to talk to you. Okay. I learned. I mean, I could incorporate the brand and go that route, but it just seems like more of a pain in the ass than it's worth, so probably won't do it. Vegas trip would be, oh yeah, man. Nick, if you want to do a Vegas trip, we'll try to coordinate timing on that. I've never been to Vegas. I've been all over the country. I've been past Vegas a few times, but I've never really been to Vegas, you know, to go check out the sights and play around. And we all know what happens in Vegas. Buc-ee's great. Just went to Buc-ee's first time last weekend. Cool. So, hang on a second. this one's done. Let's see if our files are you able to get any of the computers on the domain yet? Are they showing up?
I will check.
Okay. Let me give you this so where we can... Hang on, everybody. 1 second. Lost the mic. Let me give you this install file. It'll need to connect to the network and get IP address in order to get out to the internet. When you install the AV client, it's going to auto-register out to Sophos Cloud and do the installation. But we've got to be on the internet in order to get it. So let's do this. Oh, I just found the thing I needed. One moment, please. Two, and I'm going to put it on that. That's it. Let me reject that. Okay. So there's a Sophos setup file on here. We can just start with one of the machines, and
You want the infected machine? No.
we don't know which ones are infected. So if you
I
want-
know 3 of them.
let's start with one that's not infected. Get the Sophos client on it and run a scan, and that'll let us start mapping outward and figure out which ones were
Mine
affected.
then, you know?
I'm sorry?
I can do mine.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
And it has to be on the network, right?
You've got to put it on the network in order to download the client, yeah. So I've got the servers isolated, so the machine's not going to be able to reach back in right now. All right, sorry everybody. Got to work, you know. Got to pay for my toys. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay. Where am I? Ooh, I missed a few. Okay, so Jeff just went to Buc-ee's first time last weekend. What'd you think, Jeff? Good stuff, huh? I like their jerky and their the chopped brisket sandwiches. Ooh, good stuff. Yeah, I'd love to have that right now. Somebody go get Buc-ee's for me. Dodge Rider tried to get support from Kimco, didn't work out. Still a Kimco fan. Yeah, I've watched some of Dodge Rider stuff. I subbed to his channel. I think I've sent a few messages back and forth with him too. Not big enough or compliant enough for the major sponsors. Yeah, you got that right, Nick. I don't know if it's the big enough thing. Definitely compliant enough. What's the nice way to say it? Purchasable enough. You've got to be willing to sell out your values a little bit to toe the corporate line with a lot of them. And I'm not saying anything bad about Honda. I understand they've all got legal and PR groups that they've got to report to. So I'd much rather just buy and share my experience, buy my toys, share my experiences with people, and potentially save people from wasting their own money on something that doesn't work out for them. Dave Strait, very surprised didn't get sponsored for tires and consumables. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to keep the feelers out there, Dave, and see if people are interested or manufacturers are interested in maybe doing some sponsorship stuff. Again, I'm not a good corporate role model or advertiser because I tend to voice my opinion. If something's not right, I'm not going to put a muzzle on. I'd rather people know that so they can save their own sanity, safety, money, whatever it is. Vegas trip idea, take through the White Sands missile test range. Hopefully not while they're firing missiles. I'd love to see, is it White Sands where they have the hypersonic test rails and stuff like that? I would love to see some of that stuff. That would be really cool, where they have the crazy weapons tests out there. Oh, I know they fire test rockets and stuff like that out there, like engines, on stands, not in motion, but it'd be pretty cool to see some of those rocket engines fire up. Where am I? Grand Canyon on the way back. I did Grand Canyon on the way back from the Cannonball. I'll have to send you some teaser pics and videos, Nick. Grand Canyon is amazing. I'd never seen it, and there is no way to describe it. Normal words just don't apply. It's so huge, it's so massive that any normal sense of scale doesn't apply. It's amazing. And you can walk right up to the edge. At the south rim, you can walk up and put your toes on a sheer drop that is 800 feet at the first ledge and almost 3,000 feet to the next step. It's insane. People die there all the time. They walk up to the edge, they turn around, they're doing a selfie picture, and splat. Nothing to stop it. Jeff Twilley, quarter-pound chocolate was awesome. Cool. Dave Strait, North Carolina, Alabama, and fan of Wendy's. I haven't eaten at Wendy's in a long time. I did burger stink this morning. Not missing anything. Waffle House, greasy spoons are okay. Waffle House isn't bad. We've got House of Pies here in Texas. I'm not sure if they're all over the rest of the country or not, but House of Pies is kind of an interesting place, a lot like Waffle House. They serve breakfast and greasy spoon kind of diner stuff. It's interesting. Great Yarmouth, got in the prison, Ipswich, Feather Fire and Base Rate, from London. Grand Canyon, yeah, Nick, it's so huge. It's amazing. I've got some good video out there. I even did a live Zoom call with my wife. I didn't record that one. Couldn't figure out how to record it. But I was standing there with the phone showing her the Grand Canyon, and I'm sure it doesn't come out near as well on camera as it does in real life. It's just amazing. Blue Ridge Parkway. Yes, Dave. I've done the Blue Ridge just recently on my Cannonball Run trip going up, and that was great. It was fantastic. The Natchez Trace Parkway just south of there is also very good. I rode that, part of that on the way back from Maryland just a few weeks ago, and I rode quite a bit of it on the way up during the Cannonball. Do a saved you gag on this fiance. Oh. Yeah. So, Kevin, I presume you're talking about a gag at the Grand Canyon? I have to watch my language because, man, there's no effing around when you're close to the edge like that. That is not funny. I'm all for fun and games, but not when you've got 100% certainty of death if you misstep on the edge there. Did I out front of Louisiana States got banned from them and won't tell me why? Something with the ketchup bottles, maybe? So a she said joke. Yep, we got it. IHOP, one leg, diabetes. Ooh, ouch, not good. Yeah, so Grand Canyon gag. Yeah. Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon, Kevin? It's impressive, truly impressive. I mean, it's just really no way to describe it. I might even have a picture. Let's see if I can play with OBS Studio here. Swap my camera feed. That might be cool. Cool for me. You guys are bored as hell, right? Come here. Wrong one. Let's see if I can get into my Google Drive and not lose the stream here. At least I'm doing it on the laptop this time instead of a cell phone. And if you even breathe on the cell phone wrong, you lose everything. It's crazy. Okay, I'm in my Google Drive folder. Let me see if I can find a good Cannonball Run. Pictures. Oh, that's not what I want to see. Give me a real feed. No, I don't think I've got a good Grand Canyon shot here. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Oh, I got a few of them. Let's see if I can put that up. That'll work. Let's see if I can put that up. So, where I took these pictures, we cheated. We went through, we went off-roading from the main drive area, through some trees over to a walking path that runs the perimeter of the south rim. We weren't supposed to be where we were, but we did it anyway. And there was a spot behind this tree that I'm getting ready to show you that is literally 1,000 feet straight down. And I don't mean like a gradual slope. I'm talking vertical, 90 degrees, straight down. It's insane. I don't even know how this was formed. How can you do that? How can you have a straight drop with no ancillary erosion that levels it out? Straight down. So I was going to put the cub right up against this and take some pictures, but we were having some wind gusts. And I thought, I really don't want to blow over the edge or have my bike go tumbling down there, because that's my ride home, 2,000 miles away. Window capture, game capture. Where is it? Come on, man. I know there's a way to do it. Image. There's an image. I'm going to add an image. I'm still learning how to use OBS. I know there are pros out there. I don't know how to do this stuff. There we go. Oh, no, it's too big. Is it too big? It's too big. Come on, make it full screen. Come on. I've got to figure out how to squash it and get the whole thing in there. It's a really massive picture while I fumble around with this. I think you guys are kind of getting the hint. Oh, where is it? Oh. Is there not a way to make this thing auto-snap to the... There isn't. You can't make it auto-snap to the screen size. Control, click F. Hey, thanks, Kevin. Control F. Hey, you got it. Control Fit. There we go. All right. So that picture right there, behind that tree that's in the center of the frame, is 1,000+ foot sheer drop. And people are walking right over to it and, putting their toes on the edge and looking down. I'm like, no, thanks. Not quite that adventurous, man. So Adrian and I put our cubs over there and took pictures next to it. It's pretty cool. And we camped there. Oh yeah, Dave. Yeah, you didn't see all of it. Let me put that picture back up. Yeah. So on the back of my scoot right there, the two fuel cans that you see on the top of the scooter, not on the sides, those two on the top are empty. They were being discarded by a couple of the riders on the Cannonball. They were throwing them away, and I thought, well, perfectly good. They're not going to add any weight to my pack, so I just strapped them on top in the spare tire there. But yeah, that little rig right there that you're looking at did 9,680 miles. I think what was my total when I made it back home around the country. Averaged just at 100 miles to the gallon for the entire trip. A little bit under, and 0 mechanical problems, none. We had to replace chains and tires because those are wear items; they're going to wear out. But yeah, we had a hell of a time. Fantastic stuff. Whole lot of fun. We're looking forward to the next one. We're going to be doing the 23 Cannonball as well. Used to be a Dutch pancake house, apartments, Excelsior. Sam's. Hey Sam. Hey buddy. Sorry I'm late on the reply there. I'm doing another jump. Camelay, can't stay long. I'm going to take Cub for a ride. If you're still there, Sam, good to hear from you, buddy. I haven't seen any comments from you in a while. Glad to know you're still enjoying your Cub. Love those things. So much stuff on the scoot. Okay, so I'm back. Belly drag my ass over there. Yeah, exactly. Not walking over the edge. Yeah, and we were having windy conditions that morning, so it would be real calm, and then suddenly there'd be a 20-mile-per-hour gust. Not real predictable. Not good to be standing right on the edge. Yeah, Dave. We rode 2,600 miles, 2,700 miles, 2,600 miles, something like that, all the way up to Maine from Texas just for the start of the event, and then it was another 2,600 miles from California back to Houston. So over 5,000 miles just in the to and fro, not including the event across the country. So yeah, 9,600 and change. It was nuts. Yeah, much chicken. Yeah, no kidding. No, I am not stepping up to the edge of that. No thanks. And there were several of those spots. They did have observation posts there. You can see them in plenty of other public pictures, but they've got some rocks that are like stacked on top of each other real precariously. How nature did that, I'll never know, but they've got like this observation pier that goes out, and it's got railings and stuff around it, and people can lean back on the railing and take their pictures and all that, so that's somewhat safe. But everywhere else, it's just what you saw in that picture. There are no railings, there are no... I'll probably throw some other pictures up here if I can put my stupid mouse pointer back. Where's my mouse pointer? OBS is blocking my mouse pointer. There we go. You just walk right up to the edge, and there's nothing stopping you from doing something stupid. You're your own worst enemy at that point. And somehow, oh, there it goes. Somehow OBS was blocking my cursor. I couldn't even see my cursor. So where am I? Iron Butt Kings. Yeah, man. Yeah. Concrete butt. I like the concrete butt. That was a big one. I have to remember that. Parachute. Yeah, it was funny because Adrian is a base jumper. He's done a lot of parachute jumps, and has done a lot of questionably legal base jumps. And I told him, yeah, man, you just need your chute and you can jump this. Nathan, do I have ECM on the Cub? Yes, I do, but I didn't really get a custom tune programmed into it. I did fiddle with the tuner. I've got the DynoJet Power Vision 3 that I hooked up to Adrian's Cub and my Cub. We loaded the DynoJet factory map on there for the Cub, and then I did some very minor tuning. You can't do a lot of advanced tuning with the Super Cub's ECU because it doesn't have it. Some of the VD tables are missing, but you can mess with injector duty cycle timing. And I did bump up the injector cycle time, was it 6%? Because the aftermarket pipes that we put on there, the SP Takegawa, were definitely making the bikes run lean, considerably lean, and they were down on power above 50 miles per hour. You could feel it, compared to the factory exhaust. So I'm sure that they needed to be tuned a lot better, but in order to do that, you need a wideband O2 and a closed loop system in order to, kind of look at your AFRs and your O2 levels, and EGTs too, your exhaust gas temperature. It gets pretty involved. I didn't have any of that stuff for the Cub, so I just kind of said, all right, well, I can fudge the number a little bit and bump up everything on the high end 6 to 8% without running the risk of oversaturating stuff. Gauge trade. It's not February 2nd. What's February 2nd? Okay, I'm not cultured enough. I've seen references to that. It's Feb 2nd. It's a holiday, bad omen day, what? Had a busy summer. Gotten into e-bikes, love it, whole different experience. Retired 4 years, don't know where. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, e-bikes are great. Adrian is also really into e-bikes. He rides electric unicycles, the one wheel, the crazy ones, the fast ones that do like 35, 40 miles an hour. And get this, he did a 100-mile endurance race on one-wheel unicycle. He had two of them because he only get like 40 or 50-mile range out of each. But yeah, that's a whole new level of crazy commitment right there. Oh, Groundhog Day, yeah, see, I should know that. Limey telling me my American stuff. No, there's another, somebody, if Eric is still on here, Scooter Chef, somebody else in the Cannonball Run forum, I think they were from Canada, February 2nd is their Cannonball handle, and I'm like, February 2nd? I just didn't get the reference to Groundhog Day. One moment, please. Technical difficulties. Let me keep these things spinning over here. Keep my plate spinning, lest I end up here until midnight. We got to have this thing running today. They got to get back in business tomorrow. They lost a whole day yesterday. This is a import-export group, They do a lot of commercial plumbing fittings, big stuff, huge industrial stuff. They've got like a 80,000 square foot warehouse right out behind me here, and they do a lot of big overseas orders and stuff like that. And when they lose a day of productivity, okay, that one's still going. Who else needs restarted? I wish I could figure out how to do text-to-speech on this thing and it could read me the comments and I could do two things at once. Fatty, February 2nd, I'll celebrate Candles. Okay. Winter's downtime, get caught up in videos for sure. Yeah. Do you make any videos, Sam? I think I looked at your channel a while back, but I didn't see videos. Maybe I clicked on the wrong space. Got a PCX 160 yet, Jared? No, but I've heard that same rumor. I hear people saying that the 160 does 73 to 76 miles an hour, factory trim, no problem. So a little bit more horsepower because it's got a 4-valve head, revamped engine timing, tune and stuff like that. I think it's got like 1.5 or 2 extra horsepower over the old 150. But I think what they've done is they've redone the rear drive, the final drive ratio, so it can get better top speed. Day off of drinking, hell yeah, man. Jeff, ham radio guy, what I thought about using MURS for BikesCom. Yes, I have actually. I'm a ham as well. I'm just not an active one. The ham community down here is old and grouchy and they don't like doing things any other way than HF. That's it. And voice, phone HF. I don't want to sit there and chew the rag like that. I'd rather chew the rag like this. It's more fun. So MURS, yeah, MURS for bike comms would work pretty well because you wouldn't be in the congested, 10 megahertz, 11 megahertz bands. But the problem is the helmet interface. You've got to figure out a good way to link in Bluetooth comms with the common helmet communicators that are out there like Cardos and stuff like that. Now Senna had a good Bluetooth interface that was kind of a universal radio interface. I forget the model number of it. But you could tie it into GMRS, FRS radios, whatever you want at CB. So if you could get some of the newer MURS radios, that would be pretty good because they've got, it's a lower frequency and it's got pretty good range and it's not strictly line of sight. Hey Kraken, hey buddy. How's my trip to Annapolis? I'm going to be editing and posting that trip very soon. I didn't want to post any of it until Birch got his done, and he posted his video today. So if you haven't checked out Birch's channel, go look. He posted the ride. I didn't want to step on anybody's toes and put my stuff out before his stuff because it was his event. I was just glad to be there and meet everybody. It was good. We had fun.
Hey, restart this. There's someone still using the PC.
Restart it. Restart. Yeah. Yeah, because you probably had a local user logged in, so that's why it's saying another user's logged in. We hope. Unless the bad guys are still in that computer, that would be bad news. Where am I? Text-to-speech Streamlabs version of OBS. Yeah, I thought about getting Streamlabs. I can't decide if I'm going to do a subscription to StreamYard or Streamlabs. I'm looking at different tools because I need to get this sorted out for our big Riker event that we might be doing soon-ish. So I'm playing with OBS and trying to set up scenes and get all the tools worked out. I have gotten a couple of good capture cards, Cam Link 4 and stuff like that. Where am I? Overall trip. Oh yeah, so the trip to Annapolis was good. The Rebel seat was a problem. The foot peg and seating position on it's not the greatest for long haul. I did a saddle sore 1000 on the way up. I did 1056 or 1063 miles, something like that, for the first leg of the trip, and then promptly passed out because it was cold. I was tired of being cold. It was wet. It was raining a little bit, and I stealth camped behind shopping center parking lot. I don't know if I can get you that picture. Let's see if I can pull it up. No, it's probably not on here. I can't get it. It was fun. we did good. The meet itself was great. We got separated from the group during the ride, but we managed to catch back up to everybody, and it was a neat event. I gave away all my Rebel accessories that I didn't need to a new Rebel owner. Isabella is her name. She just got an 1100 like a couple days before the meet, from what I understand. Okay, so where am I? Jared, that would put up with the X-Max. Yes. Yeah, and the problem that the reason I've never gotten the S-Max is because the fuel efficiency on it is pretty poor for a 155cc scoop. People are only seeing like 80 miles to the gallon out of that thing, which I think is pretty off compared to the PCX. I mean, I get well over 100 on the PCX. So it doesn't do 77 miles an hour, but Nick is saying the audio on some of the tracks sucks. The second rider, yeah. The comms is a tricky bit. I've already purchased some gear for the next meetup rides that I do. I'm going to be putting dedicated audio recorders on people if they don't mind, if they agree to it. That way I don't have to rely on the comms for the recording through the Cardo. The Cardo are okay for voice comms, but the recording levels are pretty off for editing that in post and getting it into the video. It comes through kind of scratchy and garbled, and it's pretty hard to manage. And the quality of the helmet is also a big deal. If you've got a noisy helmet, then it gives you less to work with in the audio. So anyway, Kevin's saying speed chat. I'll have to check that out. Speechchat.com. Okay, I'll try that. Hey Sam, a big fan of the streams. Thanks, man. I haven't done any. I haven't done streams until just lately. I decided to start playing with it because I've got a use case for it. We're going to be doing a big meet in Texas for three-wheel vehicles soon, we hope. So I want to do a big virtual presence, almost like a telepresence thing for people that can't make it. So we're going to see how that works out.
You get the messages now.
Okay. And is it installed?
It says the closers and
Good. Okay. I'll be back with you guys in 1 second. I got to go check on this bug. We found it. We got it isolated. It was one of the infected users. Somebody that clicked on a link they shouldn't have. So, where was I? Dave Stray, Kraken Sparrow. Name is Eric, been following me for ages. Hey Kraken, thanks man. Back to the live stream thing. We're hoping to do this big telepresence thing for a three-wheel meetup. For people that can't make it out, whether they're physically not able to because of country or, COVID restrictions, whatever. And I'm going to have a bunch of AV gear out there. We're going to set up a big honking monitor. I'm trying to find where my hands are. Big honking monitor. Like a, 70-inch, 75-inch LCD TV or something like that. And we're going to have cameras on it and also mobile cameras on some of the people like me at the event that are streamed through Wi-Fi. And we're going to mix it all in OBS Studio and present that out in a live stream and be able to get people to come into the stream through StreamYard, through a browser, or Zoom, or several other potential video sources to where people can actually participate in the events remotely. It'll be pretty cool. and walk around and show people the venue and all that. And we're hoping to have a lot of freewheel vehicles out there. So we'll see how it goes. And then for some of the other stuff that I do, the crazy adventure camping out in the middle of nowhere and the road trips and stuff like that, I'm trying to figure out ways to show people what that's like on the road, in real time instead of in post months after it happens. So where am I? Big fan of the stream. Okay. Back to Sam. Any new bikes in the future? I've been looking at the Trident. I might get the Trident. I'm not sure. I was supposed to have the Aprilia RS660 a year ago almost now. It still hasn't happened, and the dealer still got my money, and they're not getting me my money or my bike, and that's another issue. I've got to sort that out. But the next bike for me is probably going to be the new NT1100 Honda, if and when that comes out. So we should hear some announcements about that in late October. I can't remember if it was October 23rd or 25th, something like that. And then EICMA is going to be soon. So the NT1100 is going to be a upright touring chassis, sport touring, with the Africa Twin 1100 motor in it, same as the Rebel. But hopefully it'll be in the full power trim instead of the limited power that the Rebel has. And that will be a potential replacement for my CB500X. I said I'd never sell the 500X, but if it's going to have the same kind of ergonomics and double the horsepower, over double the horsepower, and adjustable suspension, better chassis, what's not to like? So that would be my next addition to the stable. Send me the info, come if I will. Which one, Nick? Send you the info. Oh, the three-wheel thing, yes. You're definitely going to be invited to that. I'll let you know. Our first tentative meetup is going to be in November. You're welcome to come down for that. The location is in Fredericksburg, Texas, so close to the sisters, close to where we were before. It's a ranch. Property owner reached out to me and said that he wants me to help arrange a regional meetup, or annual regional meetup. So I told him, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll put the word out. Jeff, got the JBLs on Cardo? Yeah, I've got the JBL set up as well. Packed off mold with the JBL. It's good stuff. Old Sarge. Hey, Old Sarge. He's the guy. He's the guy. He's the rancher. So Old Sarge is the one that has reached out and who wants to put on this event on his property out there. And we've got some brainstorming that we're going to do in our first little tentative meet there. And then we're shooting for kind of the big event, the first big event timing in late April, early May of next year. So I think that was it. Or late March, early April. We'll sort it out. We're trying to avoid a couple of other big three-wheel events that we would conflict with schedules. So, but sometime around like April-ish next year. One moment. I'm going to feed the servers here. Come on. Too many windows open. Wound up here. Okay. Okay, well, file copy's completed. Most of them. Now I've got to put the stuff in the right places. Jeff Twilley. Okay, had those. All sorry. We're going to help children's charity. Yeah. So, Old Sarge is saying we haven't figured out pricing. We're wanting to charge per bike entry fees, and the entry fees, 50% of it's going to go toward a charity. We're not sure if it's going to be cystic fibrosis or another children's charity. So this isn't going to be just a profit venture. It's going to go to a good cause. And then the other portions of the proceeds are going to be for grounds maintenance, prize giveaways, things like that, and food and drinks and things like that. He's wanting to hire a couple of food trucks to come out there and sit for the day. The main event will be on a Saturday. People can come in Friday. Moto camp on property if you're a moto camper. Otherwise, there'll be plenty of hotels and stuff nearby, and we'll try to figure out group rates and kind of pre-vet a lot of the areas and get things set up with venues in town, give people things to do. But we'll have plenty of events. We're going to have stuff to do. We'll have semi-organized group rides going out to the Sisters and other local good twisty roads. And I took a few pretty good twisty roads on the way out of Fredericksburg a couple weeks ago when I went out there and visited. I was just on a little PCX 150 scooter. I went out with Kevin Excelsior to the Austin area, and then I rode down to Fredericksburg and out from there. So even on a scooter, a bunch of those roads are a hell of a lot of fun. Nick saying can't do this year. That's fine, man. Next year I'll let you know, man. 16. Hey, thanks for the count. Jeff, yeah. Jeff's thing. All right, you guys chat amongst yourselves for a minute. I'm going to feed the servers for a minute and pay for my job here. Okay, so I'm not completely wasting time. There's still 2 servers that are not quite ready. Don't want anybody to be sitting around waiting on me. And that includes you guys. Mine. Okay, I got all that in place. That's staged and not shared. Good. Don't want anybody to see it. Not yet. So we get the gen pop cleaned out. A lot of rebuilding to do here. There we go. Okay. Tea and 2 sugars. Hell yeah, man. I'm trying to get off of sugar and all that, but I do love sweet tea, man. Hot or cold, doesn't matter. Where am I? This weather, am I right? I don't know how the weather is up there in Oklahoma, Nick, but down here it was a tit-bit nipply this morning. When I left the house this morning, it was 52, but very, very dry. We were at, I want to say, 60% humidity first thing in the morning. Last night we were down to 27% humidity. When does that happen in Houston? Never. It's amazing. Overnight temps were really good. I was thinking about hanging a hammock in my gazebo and just sleeping outside last night. It was so nice. We got the milk discussion and tea going on. 88 and cloudy in Tucson. Hey, Howard. Hey, Howard. Man, I feel so bad, Howard. I meant to reply back to you before the recent episode went out. I feel like such a shit. I've been just squashed with work, and I really did want to reply back and kind of give you my closing thoughts on the Cannonball. And I started editing just the first couple episodes of my Cannonball series. But yeah, I feel bad. For anybody that doesn't know, Howard does the scooter scene. I'm right, Howard, am I not? I hope I'm not mistaking you for somebody else. There's a delay on the comments here, so I'm running behind. I'm sure I say something and then it takes 30 seconds to come through on the chats. So anyway, yeah, Howard runs the Scooter Zine, I think it is, and it's a publication, and he did a special expose on the the 21 Cannonball, scooter Cannonball run, and he asked a bunch of the riders, including me. He asked me for an interview long before the Cannonball even started, I think, and I've just been so absolutely hammered working on Sundays like this. For anybody that joined in late, here's my environment and a customer site. Server racks and switches, and you got airplanes running in the rack here. This is you, my window to the world, window to infinity, rebuilding a virtualization infrastructure. My bike sitting outside on CCTV where I can make sure nobody's going to jack with it, lest I go out and put holes in them. So yeah, anyway, working on a Sunday, working to pay for my toys. And all of my lost work from the Cannonball. Where am I? 54 and cloudy days. Oh, cool, yeah. It's always cloudy though in UK, man. I can't tell you how many times I went through London, Gatwick area, Gatwick Airport and Heathrow and all that. Dozens and dozens of times when I was working with NASDAQ. I can't tell you one single time I went there that it wasn't cloudy and shitty and raining there. I don't know how you guys deal with that weather. It sucks. Of course, we have the other side of that coin here in Houston. It's always hot as hell. Christmas Day, we can be outside in shorts and t-shirt, 75 degrees. It's crazy. And then you get into the summertime. Ask Nick, how about that July heat in the Twisted Sisters? Job. I got jacked with it. I'll pay you money. Somebody already jacked with it, man. This is going to be an expensive call. I had to sell him a server to build in parallel here because there was no saving the existing one, and we need to keep it for forensics because this cybercrime and unfortunately, because of the nature of this company, Secret Service and FBI cybercrime division are involved. So there's a chain of custody that has to be followed for all the infected equipment, except for the workstations. The workstations are not as critical. We do know two of the infiltration points are what are called the SOIs, or source of infection, and those machines have been isolated and they've got to be retained for forensics and custody purposes. This is going to be a $100,000 job right here, just fixing this goof. Somebody clicked on something they weren't supposed to click. That's how it goes. London sucks. Yeah, no shit, man. I haven't had a chance to tour the UK. Maybe one of these days, if the politicians that are in power right now let COVID ever take a rest. Rare day to see the sun in London area. Yeah, no kidding, man. Dave, what are the statistics? I remember looking it up a long time ago. It rains 268 days a year or something like that on average. It's crazy. Let that work field for critical infrastructure. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kevin, I've done everything from software design to hardware and everything else in between over my long assorted career in this field. I kind of enjoy being able to dabble in a lot of the different stuff. Enterprise networking, data center design, financial markets and all that. That's where my real money was back in the day. Nothing like pouring out your brain for $10,000 a day. It's good stuff. But being a technology prostitute comes at a cost. You don't get a life. Let's see what I got here. Where am I? Wax and CG. Yeah. Winter here won't see the sun till Easter now. Yeah. Yeah, your riding season there's got to suck, man. It's short. It's even shorter if you include all the rainy days. Places in Scotland, 300 days of rain. Damn. I mean, I'd love to tour Scotland and Ireland and get out there and look at all those fantastic roads that border the coastal area, but it's a crapshoot, man. I would take the trip all the way out there, and I would see rain every single day. There wouldn't be a dry day or a dry patch of road to ride, I'm afraid. Hawaii, Oahu, rain for 5 minutes every day. Yeah. Yeah, only on those 65 days it's not raining. If you got the magic 8 ball to figure out which days those are, let me know. Okay. Next one's underway. Now I gotta go through and build the firewalls. Ugh. Where am I? Waterproofs? Yeah. Doing in Ireland in Christmas, yeah. Christmas in Ireland, it's probably a little on the chilly side. Isn't Arizona 300 plus of sun? Yeah, I'm sure it is. I haven't lived in Arizona. I've toured through there many times. All I know is stay the hell away from Phoenix in the summer. They have air temps in the 120 degree Fahrenheit range, and ground temperatures are generally about, at least in the sun, are well over 140. So imagine standing on top of 140, 150 degree radiating blacktop. Hey Kevin, thanks for tuning in, man. I'm just sitting here goofing off. I don't even know. I should probably end this eventually. I don't know. I don't think anybody's got any more questions for me. We're just chewing the rag now. Yeah, Howard's saying, and Phoenix sucks. Yeah, Phoenix is hot. I've been through there a couple times, and I'll tell you, I actually think Phoenix in the summer was hotter than a couple of the times I've gone through Death Valley. It's just how it works out. Coming back through the Mojave Desert on the Cannonball Run, we got lucky. It was overcast, and it was actually raining just a little bit. We had a little bit of precipitation in the driest desert on the North American continent on the day that we passed through. So we escaped brutal temperatures in the Mojave, riding out of California into Arizona. But yeah, Phoenix is hot as hell. Can't do it. Hey, Nathan's saying 16 still watching. All right, I'll stay in if anybody's watching. Probably, 14 of those or 13 of those people turned it on and left the room. Not seeing that many people commenting, so I can't imagine they're really tuned in. Sure I haven't missed any comments here. So yeah, Kevin, if you haven't left yet, tell us about your ride, where you're going to go. Probably already left. And what are you going to ride? That's a better question. I would be riding. I was logging that on the way in this morning, saying that the weather is just so fantastic here right now in Houston. I would do a drive border to border in Texas, north, south, east, west, I don't care. Texas is like 700 plus miles wide. It's just fantastic, but unfortunately I'm stuck doing this crap. Not this crap, this crap over here. This isn't crap, this is more fun. So, anyone? Come on, questions, anybody? I'll just talk about the Cannonball Run until I see other comments coming in. Dave Straight saying Thailand 95 couldn't cope with that. Yeah. Houston, from what I understand, in the summertime kind of approximates Thailand and Vietnam as far as the humidity levels. I've never been over there personally, so I can't say, but it's just brutal here in the summertime because we're right on the Gulf and it's always humid. It's almost never dry like it is right now. And our temperatures don't get as hot here as they do in places like Arizona, our air temp here, even in the hottest months, is just a little bit over 100 degrees. We might get up to 105, 110 Fahrenheit sometimes, but it's the humidity that'll kill you. Literally, you get heat stroke. You just can't cool off. You can't sweat enough to cool off. You get 80% humidity and 107 air temp, and it's not a good recipe. Nick is saying, how much would a wood chip if a wood chip could chuck wood? I don't know. Would I do another cannonball? Yeah, Howard. Yeah, we're already planning on doing the cannonball in 23. I don't know which bike I'm going to take this time. We're probably going to do the Cubs again, but they're not going to be in the same configuration. If you look at the stats, the fact that a Super Cub came in second is pretty impressive. Da Vinci is a monster. He weighs maybe, $120. He's very light, and he was traveling fast and light. He didn't have the encumbrance that we did with our trailers. So I think that the Cannonball could be very well tackled with a modified Super Cub. And there's nothing in the rules that say you can't modify. If you increase your displacement, then you've got to disclose that, and it factors into the scoring algorithms, the handicapping system. So most likely what I'm going to do is I'll take either my Cub, or I might get one of these new blacked out ones that you see in Europe for the 22 model. I might pick up one of those, and I'm going to Frankenstein it. So for anybody that's watching, you'll get the inside scoop here before I spill the beans on the other videos. Because I already own the CT125 Trail Cub and the spoked wheels and the dual disc brakes and all that stuff. Very likely what's going to happen is either my 2019 blue Super Cub or a new 22 blacked out Super Cub is going to get Frankensteined. I'm going to put 181cc Kitico Neo big bore kit in it, trick out the engine, I'll detune it a little bit, probably run it at about 18 horsepower instead of 22 to 25, which is where it can run. I'll do the 2-valve head, not the 4-valve head, because I don't want to do the valve maintenance on the 4-valve head while I'm on the road. 2-valve is just easier and less maintenance. I'll have a new swing arm made for the rear of the Cub to accept the rear disc brake. Make a new hanger for the rear master cylinder and the new pedal and all that. Do some suspension upgrades, and it's going to be a 85 mile an hour Super Cub, no problem. It'll be easy to do. And I'll have an auxiliary fuel tank plumbed in, so I'll have a total of about 3.5 gallons, maybe almost 4 gallons of fuel. The tank will be kind of where ours are right now, but not a jerry can. It'll actually be plumbed into the fuel system, so we'll be able to run almost the entire day at the upgraded motor will be less efficient, so figure 80 to 85 miles per gallon if we keep the speeds down a little bit and not run just full tilt. But we should have at least a 350 to 400 mile range on a single load of fuel, so that'll make the little Super Cub very competitive. Okay, so where am I? Did I ever sell some of my bikes? Eric, no, I haven't. I've still got, I'm up to 23 now. I need to sell some of them. I just haven't had time. I talked a little bit about that during my the Moto Camp live stream that I did coming back from Annapolis. I don't like to sell any of my stuff that isn't 100% because I'm a mechanical OCD freak. And I feel like if I'm selling something that's not 100%, then I'm just passing off my problems to somebody else, and it makes my skin crawl. So if I have anything that's not ready to go that I would trust with my life, I don't want to sell it to somebody else. So I've got a few of my bikes that need a little bit of work right now, and they're just sitting in the garage, or the warehouse actually. And I need to thin the herd a little bit. I just don't have enough butts to ride all the machines that I have. So. Jeff, have I thought about a fab trailer for the Riker? Yes. Yeah, actually, I'm probably going to reach out to Kip Moto and see if they can make a hitch or a single-sided, mount attachment for the bob trailer that I've got, the Surepax trailer that I've towed around the country on the Cub. Howard Raines is saying he's a monster, has done quite a few CBRs. Yeah, I presume you're talking about Benchies. Yeah, Ben, he's crazy. He throws caution to the wind a little bit. He ate it pretty good. I'm sure you heard the story. He ate it on the Cannonball out on the gravel roads. Adrian and I almost ate it several times because the trailers added a lot of extra inertia to our bikes, and we took a lot of roads that I wouldn't even feel comfortable on other bikes. I mean, an ADV bike, a proper off-road bike, no problem. But the Super Cubs didn't have the suspension and the tires for that. And Ben ate it going about 40 or 50 miles an hour. He messed himself up a little bit. Not as bad as some of the other guys, though. There were some pretty severe injuries. Jared, amazing the difference aerodynamics makes between the Cub and the Hunter Cub. Yes, sir. I don't know if you're referring to those videos that I just posted about the Cotton Bowl 2 bikes, but the little CT125, the aerodynamics and the tuning for mid-range really hurt it on the road. It's only able to pull 52 to 54 actual speed. The speedometer on it's about 3 miles per hour optimistic. But yeah, it's a 10 mile an hour difference. Same essential motor, just different aerodynamics and different gearing. Howard saying great sounding mods, yeah. So the Franken Cub might be an interesting animal when that comes around. Nick, thanks for tuning in, man. Gotta go, gotta work. All right, have fun. Yeah, sweaty sitting there in the gear. I don't miss those days. Nothing like sitting in a level 3 jacket and duty belt and all the hot shit on. Dave, then a V8. Yeah. Need to get stickers. Full Tilt Boogie. Yeah. That's a good idea, man. I'm not much of a slogan guy. I guess I say a few things repeatedly, but Full Tilt Boogie is good. Maybe I'll do that. I need to get some merch made up, stickers, shirts, something like that for my Patreon members. I've got a handful of those, and that's an easy thing to do to show appreciation for subscribers and members and that sort of thing is merch. So, good idea. Thanks, Dave. Nathan, will the stock clutch on the Super Cub handle? No, it won't. So that's kind of the slippery slope that you run when you start doing upgraded engine components and increasing the power. I come from the racing world, so you never increase power without increasing braking power. Basically, your braking capacity should always be double what your horsepower is. That's kind of a safe limit in the engineering world of things. So if you increase horsepower, you've got to increase braking. You've got to increase suspension to handle the higher speeds and the higher kinetic loads that are being thrown out there. And then obviously within the engine and the driveline, you've got to increase your clutch or your clamping forces that are involved there. So in order to get the Cub motor to handle that power, or the powertrain to do it, it's going to be stiffer clutch springs, probably upgraded plates. I doubt the factory plates would be up to that without glazing. So it's going to be something like a Barnett or RK or somebody else out there in the racing world to have beefier plates for that. So stiffer springs usually help it a lot. As long as you're not just abusing the hell out of it, it should be okay. Be interested in one of the PCXs in the not too distant future. Hey, Jared. Well, Adrian has first dibs on my gray 2016 that's got the Akrapovic exhaust on it. You can see that in some of those videos. It's, I'm not in any hurry to sell it, but somebody that I know wants it, and I'll make a good deal on it. Adrian's talked about getting it, he just hasn't really decided yet. So. Sarge, hey buddy. Can the scooter be converted to belt drive? Not really. I guess it could. I presume you're talking about the Super Cub. It could be converted to a belt drive, but you'd probably be stuck doing all the machining yourself. Or you'd have to find a good shop that could machine out your countershaft cog. It wouldn't be a sprocket in that case. It's more of a pulley. So your countershaft pulley and your rear drive pulley on the rear hub would have to be machined out. The only problem with belt drive when you're converting over from a chain is usually to handle the same amount of power and torque, your belt has to be slightly wider gauge than a chain. It's just nature of the beast. So I don't know about the extra clearances that would be needed on the countershaft sprocket cover and swing arm area, but it'd be an interesting project. I'm sure it could be done, and that would solve a lot of the chain maintenance issues on the long, hard cannonball runs. So it's an idea. Have to put some kind of a belt tensioner off of the swing arm, or potentially on the upper portion of the frame area near the countershaft sprocket to keep the belt tension. But yeah, should be done. Christian Connection Channel. Hey, buddy. Thanks for tuning in again. I saw you on the live stream that when I was in camp and coming back from Annapolis. I think I was in Tennessee. I don't remember. Rodad66. Any update on the Riker? Not yet. Not yet. It's still sitting in the warehouse waiting on me to have time. I'm working on a Sunday. I don't want to move the camera around again, but I'm doing a network recovery job on a Sunday. Otherwise, everything else is not getting paid for. I need to take it over to a dealer and put it in for an appointment to have the suspension diagnosed, and I know that the yaw sensor is bad, so that's why I haven't taken it in yet. Everybody else that has taken their Rikers into the shop, they're still waiting on getting them back, and some people have had them in the shop for 2-3 months. They're still waiting because the yaw sensors are not available. So we don't know if it's better for it to be sitting in my warehouse or sitting in the shop somewhere. Good idea on the decals. Yeah, Jared. I think I need to do that. We can thank Dave for that. He'll get the first decals in the first shirt. Gas price, yeah. Scooters are in demand, yeah. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of smaller displacement bikes becoming in vogue over the next few years as the oil prices continue to go up. Eric, hope to trade in one of the PCXs for 160. I've thought about it. But I won't trade in at the dealer because the dealers won't give me any money for my scooters. I took both of them over and got a valuation on them a few months back, and they were wanting to give me like $1,100 for those scooters. $1,100 bucks, I'll keep them, man. Give me a break. PCX mileage is very good. Yeah, shut up and take my money, Dave. On what? The merch? I need to get the merch done. I need to work on a logo. I started putting out bids on Fiverr and a couple of the other sites a while back. I've got some logo ideas in my head for the channel for QM, and figure out, the Q kind of like a dirt bike tire. I throw on a roost and figure out how to get M for motard in there. I don't know. Figure something out. But once I can get a logo sorted out, I'll do some merch. Yeah. But anyway, that PCX 160 looks pretty interesting. If I get rid of the existing 150s that I've got, I'll just sell them private party or whatever. Find somebody that I know that wants them and make them a sweet deal. I just can't see giving it away at the dealer for $1,100. Bear with me one second. I got to work on these servers and pay for myself. Earn my money. Oh, they are still chewing. Good God, I thought I was sitting here waiting for nothing. Nope. They are still going. Oh, man. Looks like I'm going to be here until 9 tonight. Okay. Where am I? Jared, should make a decal for the channel that just reads tards. Well, it's funny. People from Europe probably understand motard. Most people from the United States don't. And I've had a few people comment very not friendly, saying that I'm being insensitive or being rude with the name of my channel and whatever. They think that I'm saying retard, quasi-retard, whatever, No. motard is a form of motor racing. It's dirt bikes that have got street bike tires and wheels on them for running mixed on-road, off-road courses. So motard racing is actually a class of racing, and we used to do that. Super motard, exactly, Jerry. We were doing that back in the 80s, mid-80s, with our two-stroke race bikes, long before it was a sport. So when I got my XT250, which is the channel's namesake, I put Avon Trail Rider tires on it, which are mostly street tires. They're like 90-10 tires, 90 on-road, 10 off-road. And it was almost a motard, but the front wheel was still 21 inches instead of 17. So almost motard, quasi-motard. There's the channel name right there. And people just don't get it. They think I'm saying a retard or whatever. And I am a retard, whatever, you know, but you don't have to be an asshole about it. Yes, Quasi is really that old, yeah. Yep. I'll be 51 in about, 3 weeks. OG, man, OG. I shouldn't even be here. I should be dead 7-8 times over. There's a lot of stories behind that. I don't know if anybody wants to hear my sob stories. Not even sob stories, just dumbass stuff that I did growing up. I grew up in the days of BMX freestyle and all that. Anybody that knows Matt Hoffman, granddaddy of BMX freestyle, I grew up in the same town with him, went to the same schools. You know, we were friendly, not best friends, anything like that. But I helped him build his first quarter pipe in his backyard, and we grew up doing dumb stuff like jumping our bikes off of 3-story buildings into sand piles and anything we could do to break them. So we got factory sponsorships from Haro, Mongoose, Skyway, Quad Angle, everybody you could think of back in the BMX days. They were giving us free everything because they couldn't figure out how we were breaking it. And they would say, this is yours, go out and break it. The only stipulation is you got to give it back to us when you break it because they want to figure out how we broke it. And they would give us things that they would say were unbreakable. Oh yeah? Watch. We'll find a way. And we did. But Matt, oh, hey, my camera just freaked the hell out. What's up? Hello? Ah! No, the lights aren't going out. My camera's going out. Hurrah! Ah! Oh, oh, oh. I don't know what the camera's up to. Hey, wake up! No, it didn't get dark in here. Haro, yeah, hell yeah, man. So, yeah, we destroyed lots of bikes and lots of bones. Matt Hoffman is one of the few people that I've ever known in my life that had zero fear of injury or death, and pretty much no fear of pain. The guy was legally dead several times, brought him back on the table, and saying, why is my camera flipping the F out? Quit! I don't know what's up with my camera. It's like a disco in here. Yeah, camera needs coffee. Maybe it needs a potty break, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, I had to get out of that game when Matt was deciding he wanted to do vert jumps and was, you know, getting 30, 40 feet of air, getting towed in with motorcycles and three-wheelers and quad racers, and then missing the back of ramps and dismantling himself. Like, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. I'm going to work on this here for a moment. Radius 2. What's next? Put this one into the staging area. One moment, please. Okay, that was gone. Anybody else? 9 lives with 1 left, old Sarge. Yeah. No, I think I'm probably on about 11 lives. I've had a couple of mulligans. Jared. Jared's saying, what does quasi mean? Quasi is derived from Latin. I forget the original Latin word, but quasi in Portuguese, I speak Portuguese as well, is almost. Quasi is almost. Even in the English language, quasi is a somewhat known term. So almost, motard, quasi, motard. Okay. How did the ADV 150 do in the cannonball, Eric? They all did really well. In fact, I think all of them finished. Well, let me rephrase. I think all of them were capable of finishing. I think there may have been a couple of riders that bowed out, but I think we had 5 finish, so we did pretty well. Jared, I'm 45. Hey, yeah, not far behind me, man. Everybody does dumb shit. Yeah, some of us more than others. Good Lord, that camera's just going crazy. If I've ordered pizza, it's taking a long time. No kidding. Yeah, Dave said, obrigado. Obrigada, feminine, obrigado is masculine. Depends on who you're talking to. I didn't speak Portuguese or Spanish when I met my wife in Madrid. I was over in Madrid doing a job for NASDAQ, setting up a trading circuit and trading floor over there. And I met her the second night of a planned 4-day trip. And luckily the job was taking longer than it should have because nobody in Spain likes to work. So I ended up having to learn Spanish real fast because she lived over there, but she was Portuguese, or Brazilian, so Portuguese was her native language, and I had to learn both of them at the same time. That sucked. Jared, yeah, it was good to see you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Go ride that RD. Get some 2-smoke going. Good stuff. So yeah, anyway, I learned Spanish and Portuguese at the same time, so I get them a little mixed up in my head. The base language of Portuguese is Spanish, but it's got a lot of Italian and French thrown into it. I used to be fully fluent in French as well. Just didn't use it for a long time, but the Latin background helped me with learning Spanish pretty quick. So I went from nothing to conversational Spanish in about 60 days. Anybody still there? Nope. All right, I see Jared took off. Well, I don't know who's hanging around and what we're talking about, but if anybody's got questions, I will be happy to take questions. I could just blather forever. Yeah, Dave, I don't think I'm as good at languages as my wife is. She is really good. She picked up English real fast. I picked up Spanish very quickly because I had a background in French and Latin. So I'm technically quadlingual, but I haven't used it in a long time, so it gets very rusty. If I'm immersed in it, then I can gain fluency again real fast. It takes me a couple days, 3 days, whatever. But being able to switch back and forth real quickly, that's you've got to have a very pliable brain to do that. And I find it pretty interesting being around, my wife and her friends. They mix Portuguese, Spanish, English all together fluently, transparently, and switch back and forth just real fast. And I still have to translate in my head. Nathan's saying 17 watching. We're still at 17. I think those people have gone to sleep and left their computers running. Christian Connection. Thanks. Ready for more videos? Yeah. I put up 2 or 3 just in the last few days. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at those. That was the Cotton Bowl Speedway trip, moto camping on Super Cubs. Met Neil over there. Got to see a good walk around with his scoot to see what he's done to it. It's pretty neat. Sarge, I'm in for the Cannonball 23, not 22. So it used to be on even years. Now it's moving over to odd years because COVID postponed 1 year. So the decision was to not do one just 1 year later and get back on an even schedule because that's too soon. So the next event is 23. So yes, I'm definitely in for 23. Et tu, Brutus, yes. Being around, do it regularly, they must help, yes. Yeah, if you're around the language, I understand Spanish and Portuguese. Comprehension level is probably up around 80%, but I'm just lazy in speaking it. If I'm forced into it, I can tune my tongue. It takes a little bit because there are a lot of sounds that, especially in Brazilian Portuguese, there's a lot of nasal sounds that you don't have in English. In Spanish, you've got the rolling R's and things like that are just not normal for English speakers. So it takes a little bit of time to practice yourself into that. But okay, that one's ready. Leave it alone. Don't mess with it. The next one is this one. Get out of here. Add this one into the network here. Momentitos. Espera un momento, por favor. Where am I? Anybody else? Nope. No one else yet? All right. Think of some more questions. Come on. Questions? Anyone? Where am I? Let's see. Did I name that one properly? It's ready to go. Cool. Well, closing in on at least the end of lap 1 here. Anybody? Oh, hey, I see more questions coming in. Good. One moment. Starting. That one's in. Any luck? Did you put it on any additional ones or just?
Yeah, I need photos.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, let's get the cleaning going. I still have the shares locked off right now, so nobody's going to be transmitting bad stuff back into the server yet. Let's see what we've got. Nathan, I'll come back to you in just a sec. That one's ready to go. Let's get logged in here. So I've got all the infrastructure built as far as the shell of everything. Adding the machines in, setting up the remote desktop environment, the gateway, session servers, that sort of thing, get all that spun up. And I won't load that content back into them until we know that the workstations are healthy. And if we've got to reload any of those, we'll do that. We are going to need to reinstall the OSAS applications, so I think you know how to install the client, right?
On the PC?
The PCs won't need to. On the RDS servers, we will need to, because it has to have the client on there. I'm not bringing back that RDS server because I think it was one of the source infections.
So how are we going to do it?
If you can map to the share of where the OSAS files are, normally there's a client install right there, and we just install it. So we'll try it, see what it is. I'll bring up the original RDS server in the sandbox and scan it, but I'm almost guaranteeing that there are bad files in there. Because an open RDS server these days is going to be one of your primary points of contact that the bad guys are scripting against. So very high probability that it was an initial attack vector. If it wasn't an email, then it was definitely RDS that got it. So. and here. We'll get the workstations up first, and then I think tomorrow we can focus more on the remote desktop environment, and we'll get the client installed for that. Unless they've got a high-powered user on the outside that really needs to work remote tomorrow. So I don't have the answer to that. If you know of anybody that's outside that definitely needs access tomorrow morning, then we can focus efforts more here. Otherwise, I would say our time is better served getting, you know, the in-office people up and going first.
So tomorrow, you want me to call Rocky, the guy who does the open system?
Potentially, yes. Yeah. What time do you plan on coming in tomorrow, or are you planning to come in?
Generally, I come at 10:30.
10:30? What time do they open here? 8 o'clock? Okay. I'll plan on being here right around opening, so I can continue working on some of this.
Okay.
And then whenever you come in, we'll coordinate with the vendor to get the apps reinstalled on the new server.
Okay. So I can let him know that tomorrow will be.
Sure. Yeah. If you want to send out a preliminary email to get that going, that'd be good. Okay. Sorry, guys. Left you hanging.
11 o'clock.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah. And he could even do it remote. He doesn't need to come in physically if he's not here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He could work remote. I'll have the environment secured to where we can get in, but it's just going to be an empty shell.
I'm better confident.
Okay. Let's find out what they want to do.
I don't know. Put it on the workstation? The client side of it?
No, we should be able to reuse the existing client. It depends on how the share is set up on the server. If there's a data server portion of it, then that will need to be reinstalled on the servers because we're not.
Get on the client.
Yeah, I'm not reinstating the suspect servers. So, sorry guys. Nathan, if I purchase the NT1100, am I going to get DC chain manual? Great question. That is going to be a religious discussion, I think. That's a tough decision. I think I'll probably get a standard, but it's going to depend on a couple of factors. First and foremost, if Honda decides to give that thing a slipper clutch and or the quick shift, then yes, I'll definitely get a standard. I won't get the DCT. Because in a more sporting format, sport bike or sport touring, being able to do what I want with the transmission when I want to is a big advantage, I would think. If they don't have a slipper clutch in it, then I probably won't, because a motor as large as that 1100's got a lot of torque, and that means you're going to have fairly stiff clutch. I doubt that they're going to put a hydraulic clutch in it. Honda doesn't do hydraulic clutches. So if it's a cable actuated clutch, it's going to be pretty stiff. And fanning that in traffic is just a pain in the ass. I've done that for too many years. I don't want to deal with it. So if there's no slipper clutch and no quick shift, up-down quick shift, then I'll probably go DCT. If they do a slipper clutch and or quick shift, then probably do the standard. Jeff is asking what rain gear do I like using. It depends on what I'm doing, what tour, what ride. I normally carry some real cheap, lightweight stuff with me, the little Frog Togs ultralight, for clear weather days where I'm not really expecting rain. But if I know I'm going out into the shit, then I take my expensive riding gear, like long tours, road tours. I take the expensive stuff that's Gore-Tex. I've got Ruka riding jacket and pants. I've got a couple of other brands that are modular. They've got overshells, undershells that are waterproof and that sort of thing. So it lets me layer up, layer down if I need to. If I just go for a straight rain suit that's heavy duty, I like the Nelson Rig Aston 2000 or Aston 3000, something like that. It's a good rain suit. I've had good luck with it. Probably 4+ years old, and it's starting to develop some little rips in the crotch and around the collar area where there's a hood. It's wearing out, but it's a $100 rain suit that served me well for 4 or 5 years and 150,000 miles of rain, so can't complain too much. Dave is asking, I have lots of Hondas. Do you go for them, or did it just fall that way? Good question. I'm a Honda fanboy. I love Honda. but I'm not monogamous. I tend to gravitate toward the Hondas because they're a good price point and they're very reliable. I've owned plenty of Kawasaki's, Yamahas, stuff like that, but mostly Japanese bikes. I don't like Harley that much, and not really hating on cruisers, but it just, you know, they're not as reliable, they're noisy, they're obnoxious, and I just don't get along with them that well. I haven't been a fan of the British bikes and Triumph and a lot of those for a while, but now coming up to the newer Triumphs, since they've seriously upped their game as far as horsepower and stuff goes, I love them. I'd love to get a Bonnie T120. It'd be great. Todd. Hey, Todd. Thanks for joining in, man. Would a Grom or PCX be cheaper to maintain long term? That's a tough question. It's almost an even game. Overall operational costs, I think the Grom is going to be cheaper, but it really depends on your riding and your use case for what type of chores, riding chores you're going to be doing with it. If you do crazy shit like I just did with the Cannonball run, long, hard highway runs and beating the hell out of it, you're probably better with a scooter, with the PCX. Because the only thing that you really need to maintain with those is change the oil just about as frequently as you do a Grom. And then the belt, the CVT belt, you're going to be getting into the belt case about every 4,000-ish miles to clean it out a little bit for best performance. But you don't have to replace the belt itself until, I want to say, 12 or 16,000 miles. You'd be hard-pressed to get that many miles out of a chain on a Grom or a Super Cub or anything like that, a Monkey, any of those. And chain maintenance is a pain in the butt. Every 500 miles or so, you need to put a little bit of oil on it and tension your chain slack and all that. With a scooter, none of that. Just ride it. Eric, okay, are you talking about the black clubs? Thinks that we only get one color choice. Yeah, I know. I don't know when we're going to get the other colors, if that's ever going to happen. Honda usually only brings in one color scheme per year for most bikes here, and they'll maintain that color for a couple of years and then whatever. Yeah, too bad that doesn't cut the noise, huh? So this is in, this is in. Still waiting on that one to finish.
The PC, when I tried to log in, it said user profile service is not.
That could be corruption. I'll go over there and take a look at that one. Can you log in as a local user? You don't know the local admin? Well, if you can get in as a domain admin, you can reset the local password if it still has a trust relationship to the network. So I'll jump over there in just a minute and take care of that one. One moment. That one's alive, that one's alive, that one's alive, that one's still waiting, that's waiting. Okay. Stage is just about set. I'm going to have to start doing some real work here in a minute. Where am I? Should cheese whiz be made illegal? Only if you're snorting it or smoking it. Christian Connection. When's the next video again? Scooter ride. When's the next video? I'll probably be editing and posting the next video in the Cotton Bowl Speedway series tomorrow, the next day. So I should have another video up on the channel Tuesday or Wednesday. The next ride is going to be a little while. So yeah, it'll be the scooter ride video that's coming up next. I'm trying to work in editing for the Cannonball Run videos, and that's really what started this live stream over 2 hours ago. Can't believe I'm still talking 2.5 hours later. I was just trying to gauge interest to see if people like long format, short format, time compression, no time compression, music, no music, just get a feel for what people are interested in seeing for that Cannonball series. It's a lot of video. I've got 2.5 once I re-encode the 3D stuff, there's over 2.5, almost 3 terabytes of video that I've got to go through. So it's a huge undertaking. It's just a massive time vampire. Hey Jeff, thanks for tuning in, man. If I didn't already miss you heading out. Eric saying long format. Yeah. That's usually kind of where the surveys go. I'm going to throw some surveys up, polls on YouTube where people can kind of, it's a little questionnaire thing, and I give you 3 or 4 options, and people vote on it, and you get to see the vote. When I put that vote out last time on the scooters in the Ozarks series, or the Super Cubs in the Ozarks, everybody overwhelmingly said long format, and I did the longest video I've ever done. I think it was 3 hours and 20 minutes or whatever, over 3 hours long. Took forever to encode it. But I might end up doing that same thing on a few of the videos in the Cannonball Run series. So we'll see. It's just something that it's cathartic for some people to watch that when they can't get out and ride because of weather or health or whatever. So I understand some people just liking to put it up and let it run in the background and have that catharsis there. Check one more thing here. I found a way to look at the stats. Hey, cool. So 14 people in here looking at me talking about nothing. Talking about nothing. Nathan saying that this long format helps us people in Minnesota. Yeah, man, your riding season up there is short. It sucks. I doubt that you're... are you still able to ride right now? It's not getting frozen up there yet. I imagine it's probably getting pretty chilly. We just had a huge cold front roll through here over the last few days, and when I left the house this morning it was 52, which is pretty chilly for Houston. Definitely not cold by any stretch of the imagination, but it's chilly. Okay, I'll come over there and work on that one. All right, everybody. Well, if you don't have any other questions, I probably need to sign off here and get out there and remediate a few of these dead machines. Gotten all my work done here in the server room, so if I don't see anybody pop in the next 30 seconds or something, which is about the delay period, then I'll bid you all farewell, and thanks for joining into the jam session goof off here. And PKO, Nathan saying the frost this morning, low 40s. Yeah, we're up to like 80 here now, but this morning it got chilly, and tonight I think we're back down to 50, high 40s, low 50s. So, anyway. Hey David, good afternoon. Good evening. Wherever you might be. I think the people over in the UK are long past dark. Hey Dave, thanks for tuning in, man. It's good to chat with you. I don't really get much back and forth with you. It's usually just one-liners every now and then, so it was good. Hey Riker Bill, I didn't know you were in here, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to sign off now. I'll do another live stream here in a few days and come up with a topic for each time instead of just random blathering on. We'll try to keep it on task. Maybe some more Riker content coming soon. I've got to get mine over to the shop. It's still sitting in the warehouse. So anyway, I hope I didn't miss any comments. If I did, no offense intended. Just send me an email or drop a note on this chat, and I'll swing back around to you. So catch y'all later.